Looks like I was still talking without the broadcast actually being live. So it took Milan 9 years to get back into the Champions League. 9 years to get back into the round of 16 of the Champions League. 10 years since we've gotten any type of a win. Can Milan back up a win against Tottenham Spurs today in the Serie A, translate that form back to the league and actually be able to win a Serie A match? What would this make it? Second win in a row. A February that is starting to shape up Milan's season a little bit better than what January had been. January is now in the rearview mirror. A loss against Inter, not too bad. A win against Torino, important result. And now a win against Tottenham in the Champions League. Can that form possibly turn Milan into a team that feels more confident, believe in themselves more, and bring it into this Serie A campaign? Because there's one thing that's for sure. We absolutely need a win today. It is a tricky fixture. Away from home, Monza are not a bad team. They've beaten Juventus at the Juventus Stadium. 1-0, I believe. This team's not going to be easy. This team has players like Pessina who are upset with this Milan management for not allowing him to actually stay at the club and moving him to Atalanta. Eventually, he ended up at Adriano Galliani and Silvio Berlusconi's Monza as the captain, and he's leading a side pretty well. They sit 10th in the table right now, so Monza are not going to be an easy side that are just going to sleep over here and make it easy things for Milan. If we look at the lineup, some interesting changes from Padre Pioli. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this right now, because looking at it from a distance, this isn't too bad. He's trying to be creative here now. The good news is, if we go all the way from the back line, of course, Ciprian's going to be starting. There were rumors that Mike Maignan would have been back for this particular match against Monza. Obviously, that's not going to be happening. He's probably now, as I've said before, going to be back for the match against probably Tottenham second round in the Champions League. That's where we're expecting Mike Maignan to make his comeback. So Tata Rushanu has to get the job done today. But Tata's been in good form. Against all of February, against Inter, he had the highest rating. Against Torino, he was pretty good. Against Tottenham, he got a green box in my reviews. So Tata Rushanu in the back line, this is our preferred starting center backs. Fikayo Tomori coming back from injury was before. Against Spurs, it was Kalulu, Chow, and Simon Kjaer. Today we got Tomori. This is what Milan fans see as our ideal back line. The midfield is a little bit questionable. I'm not quite sure why we're playing Messias. I would have preferred to play Davide Calabria, although I'm realizing now when I said it that he might not be fully fit yet. But if not Messias, I would have preferred to have played Alexis Salamakers without a doubt. But Pioli's probably seen he's given Alexis a few appearances now against Torino. He gave him an appearance against Tottenham. Those are high tempo games that, well, at least the Champions League match is on a high tempo match that's going to be putting a bit of a mileage on your players. So he decides to go with Messias. That's my really only, negative thought about this lineup. Krunic and Tonali partnering up again. Benacer is not being risked just yet. Teo Hernandez, Il Capitanos on the left flank. This is going to be a decent Milan side. They're going to attack Monza because up front, we got a little bit more pace than when Giroud plays. We got Divock Origi instead of Olivier Giroud, partnered up with the goal scorer against Spurs, Brahim Diaz, and the usual suspect, Rafael Leao. Now, Leao is a player. There's expectation, guys, from Leao this time around. We need more of a response from Leao compared to what he gave against the Spurs. I don't know how that guy ended up with the man of the match trophy. Rafael Leao was not the man of the match against Spurs. For me, it was Brahim Diaz or Malik Chow, one of those two guys. But nevertheless, he had a good performance, especially, certain parts of the game. He was very effective. He got the UEFA highlight reel on, UEFA's website and everything because, Milan now has a superstar on their hands. Rafael Leao has become a global star, right? That's for sure. Obviously, he's not a household name like other football players are, but amongst the football community, everybody knows who Rafael Leao is. He's that star. They're going to focus on him. They're handing him the man of the match trophy when he doesn't really deserve it. But he has to prove that to be the case in today's match. Leao has to show today that he indeed is our man of the match. And that's going to be an important element for today. Now, if I look at what some of you guys, hold on. How's the game kicked off here and it's not kicked off for me? Oh my goodness. Guys, I've been chatting away and not watching the game because my game was a little bit behind. And we're 45 seconds in already. Jeez. I was watching those guys still walking out right now. Milan looks like we've conceded a corner kick already. All right, so Interesting. All right, good thing I checked this out. Maldini's going to ask Berlusconi for a option plus buy win. I hope it's just a buy win. We don't have... Oh, jeez. Forced Tatarusanu into a save. That was a good touch from Petagna from the corner kick. Very dangerous. Could have been a certain goal for them there. Milan need to focus. Absolutely need to focus right now. Headed clear. No CDK again. Yes, my friend. This is always a tough one. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Otherwise, I would have said your name. Kuchia. Mishmash. No CDK again. Yes, no CDK playing today. I don't know what Pioli's issue with him is. I feel like today was a perfect game to play him in because it's slightly, it's not the same as what the Spurs were. Brahim has a bit of mileage on him too, just like Alexis Salamakers. Just rest him too. Put CDK on. Give the guy some time. I don't know what the deal is with Pioli and CDK, what the issue is, but I hope he comes in around halftime or around the 60-minute mark, gets a decent bit of time, at least try and get something. Why is Yassin Adli not getting playtime? Oh my God, this is a question that I'm going to have to answer a lot. I'm noticing because I don't know, man. I don't know. It's, to a certain level, we have to accept Padre Pioli's, Stefano Pioli's, I guess his mindset, whatever he's seeing on the training field that he's not liking. And for that reason, I've never really seen Pioli be that resistant to any player. In the past, I guess you could have seen like he was a little bit resistant towards Jens-Petter Auga. We always used to say, why isn't he playing Auga? Why isn't he playing Auga? And he still did, and then eventually Milan sold him. I don't know if there was any type of a player last season that was like that. But this time around, there's no doubt it's CDK and Yassin Adli. He just doesn't want to play him. Vronks and Chow, I can still understand to some degree because we had our starting defensive line. It's only after the World Cup that things kind of went downhill in our defense. But not playing Yassin Adli, he probably just isn't seeing enough in him from training. Tatarusanu with a decent clearance. Pioli doesn't like Adli or CDK. I can't pronounce my name either, so no problem. Oh, yeah, of course. This is I don't know if it's a different language or what, but nevertheless, I'll call you Kuchia. So we're about 4 minutes into this. Rafael Leao passed the ball out to Brahim Diaz. It's a decent ball out to Diaz. Rafael Leao gets away from two defenders somehow. That's a good ball in. That's a good shot from Rafael Leao. That was goal bound. You know what? I haven't done this in a long time, but right now I am going to place a bet on this match. I haven't bet in a long time, guys. I completely stopped during the World Cup. Basically, my entire balance went to zero because I couldn't have predicted that. I was saying Japan's going to beat this team. Japan's going to lose. It was just a wild period there. But I am going to put some cash on my Milan right now. Leao. Oh! Milan's a plus 125? Guys, this is a good opportunity to make some cash. I am flying out. How much should I put on them? Milan has to win today. I'm putting money on Milan to win. Done. Did it. Only if it hits, I'll tell you how much I put. But yeah, Divock Origi on the right flank. Is that going to go out for a corner kick? Almost did. Controlled pretty well. One compliment for Serie A from this match. I will make this compliment. Two things. Oh, Rafael Leao gets the ball. Is he going to pass it to Oh my God, Divock Origi. He just had to pass that out to Brahim Diaz. That was a certain goal. That's excellent defense from Divock Origi, but that should have been out. He should have passed that out. Itzo making that mistake. Oh, come on, man. What are you trying to nutmeg the guy there? Divock? Sandro Tonali? Tonali from the corner kick steps up. Cleared out by Monza. Heads that ball out. Pierre Kalulu with the header. Sandro Tonali with some good defensive work there. This is exactly what we need from Tonali, right? This is kind of the conversation I was having in basically with you guys in the 4 takeaways, where I was talking about how Sandro Tonali is a player that we really need to have something a little bit more to offer to the team in that creative space. Defensively, he's still, I think creativity comes a little bit harder than defense can sometimes to a player who's naturally gifted in both. Creativity can be form-driven, whereas defense can be a little bit more brute strength. And Tonali has been decent in defense, but that creativity has just completely diminished. And I think he desperately does miss Ismail Benacer on his side, because that's a player that's always going to help him out. Monza with a good through ball in, but that doesn't really do much. 6.5 minutes in. Still sits 0-0. How are we feeling about Stefano Pioli in the current situation right now? Because for a significant period of time in January, there were a lot of sacking requests coming in. And I feel like those have pretty much died off at this point. I don't think people are really demanding that he should be sacked anymore, just because, you get a couple of good results, people are going to quiet down. And one bad result comes in, it's going to be open gate again, open criticism. For me, I don't think Stefano Pioli's job has ever been at stake. I don't think he's ever been at risk of being sacked. Pioli is the choice that Milan's management has made, and they seem to be managers and ownership groups that want to stick to their decisions. If you look at what Todd Boehly did with Chelsea, and the fact that Graham Potter's results have been so bad, and they're still holding on to him, and I don't think they're going to be firing him anytime soon. They've basically built their entire transfer window in the winter season based on what Graham Potter's requirements were. These American owners, I'm noticing a lot of them have this habit of not wanting to necessarily move players or move coaches that quick. Players maybe, coaches no, because the standard in North America, even if you watch sports here, the standard in North America is that you hold on to your coaches even if your players, even if your team's playing really bad. I know of coaches that have been at teams for years, and that team has not been good for 5 years, and it's the same coach from 5 years ago. It's just some type of a culture. I'm referring to, I don't know if anybody watches basketball, but the Pistons have a coach named Dwayne Casey, and Casey has been their coach since 2019, I think. 4 years, they haven't really won anything, and he's still the coach. They've always finished poorly. And it's just a thing, I think, in North America where you stick with your coach, and a lot of these North American owners now coming into the game might actually be putting that same concept where it's hey, we're going to give the coaches time. We're not going to just see 6 bad results and say, well, you're fired. Kind of like how Roman Abramovich used to be. You win the Champions League, 6 months later, you're fired if you get 5 bad results in a row. They're just not like that. Monza's looking pretty comfortable. They haven't really looked very shaky. Just when I said it, Origi wins the ball, cleared out. That might be a foul. Yes, looks like there's a free kick given to Milan. Origi's selfish. He was at that point in time. I mean, it didn't look like he went for a shot on target or anything. He just tried to pass the ball out, but he could have done a much better job in dishing that out to Brahim Diaz, was completely unmarked. I would sack Pioli after the season. Our results are getting better, but it doesn't change the fact that sometimes he acts like a Serie B level coach with his tactics and decisions. I personally try to not say too much tactically because I feel like my awareness is somewhat low in that department. I just kind of go by my own eye test. But you can say that, even looking at Gennaro Gattuso, he was not as much of a tactical coach as he was a, how Pep Guardiola is just the genius on the field. These guys are not. I think Pioli is still actually pretty good because the way that he changed a lot of the players and brought the best out of a lot of players was pretty unique. Even going back to Çalhanoğlu, who was pretty bad at Milan in the system that we had before, and suddenly Pioli comes and he was really good. So, but I kind of had this comment before we won the Serie A title. Theo Hernandez is down and he's not looking very comfortable. What happened here? Let's see. Oh no. I hope he hit him with his foot. I hope he didn't just tear something in there. I think he did get kicked. I hope he got kicked, Theo, and didn't just, like a tendon issue inside or something. He's standing up now. So that's good news. But yeah, after Milan finished second in the Serie A campaign, remember when Inter won and Milan finished second? In my 4 takeaways, that's exactly what I said. I said, I don't know if Pioli should be at Milan anymore because I feel like he's gotten his job done. He's brought Milan to second place, brought them back to the Champions League. I think now it's time for a higher level coach to take over. And in the next season, Milan wins the Serie A title. So it made me look pretty stupid, but at the same time, it made me realize that, hey, you know what? You can't just write him off just like that. And I think I'm going to stick with that thought process right now. I do think that Milan should be sticking with Stefano Pioli. Let's just see how he mitigates the bad phase. Look, here's the thing. Every team at some point in time is going to go through a bad phase. It's just obvious. We haven't really gone through a bad phase in multiple years now because we finished fifth, then we finished second, then we won the title. So that's been 3 consistent growth years where we haven't had a very bad phase. If a coach can go through a bad phase and pick him up and still once again bring him back to the level where they can, at least in this season, try to finish second, that is really the mark of a good quality coach. And if that's something that Pioli can show to be, I think you should stick with him even more because now he's showing you that he can win titles, he can go through rough patches, and he can come out of rough patches. And I think that has value because every time a coach goes through a bad phase, you fire them. That just also doesn't make sense. And there are a lot of coaches that you go through a bad phase and they can never pick it up. Right now, after the 2 results we've gotten against Torino and Tottenham, and hopefully again today, Pioli would show that he actually can get the best out of the guys after going through a bad phase, which makes him an even likelier option to stay as a coach for Milan, and especially in the eyes of the ownership group. Hi, Kush. Hello, my friend. How are you? What time is it today? I think today the game would be early for you, so you can actually watch the entire game and not go to bed too soon. The problem is not only him, though. We badly need a Kessie replacement. Yes, exactly. It's not just the coaching. It's also the reinforcements that the ownership has brought in. Vamos, Kush. How are you, my friend? Loki, you look like the Monza coach. Really, I haven't seen Monza's coach. I hope he's good looking, man. I hope you're not, Loki making a Loki comment. Could we get Conte? No, it's cost too much. I don't think Spurs are going to let him go right now. And I don't think right now we need him. If we can get out of our bad phase and get the right results, we'll be fine. Why bring up Hakan? Pioli did change Hakan's future. I mean, he was not really being able to do much at Milan when it was Marco Giampaolo and Gennaro Gattuso and Vincenzo Montella. It was really when Pioli came in that he brought out the best of him. But, I mean, it is what it is. Pochettino is a good shout. Nah, man, he's too expensive. I think these coaches are going to cost Milan multiple millions in a season. We're barely playing Rafael Leao $7.5 million. Barely being able to negotiate that deal. These coaches are going to, I think Conte costs, $10 million a season or something? So that's going to be a very tough one for Milan. The game versus Inter was a disaster. I never saw us playing a derby like that, so maybe a little bit biased. Divock Origi from the right flank. Crosses that ball in. That's a good cross in. If it had fallen to Rafael Leao, something could have come out of that. Sandro Tonali. Theo Hernandez trying to win the ball. Caprari with a nice... Is that a foul? Not given as a foul. Referee doesn't see that as obstruction. Brahim Diaz with a lovely turn. Is he going to pass the ball out? Brahim, if you just passed the ball out a little bit earlier, Origi would have had it. Start moving the ball quicker. Don't lose possession like that. Oh yeah, Monza coach is good looking. I appreciate that, man. That's I'll take that compliment for sure. I understand the Derby criticism though. He was very defensive. He was very negative. But now think about it, right? Before the Derby and before the January phase, we were playing a 4-2-3-1. While these problems started to come about, he did change formation. And right now it has given us some results. That's an adaptable coach to me now. Obviously, it was negative against Inter, but it's just one match, right? As long as the season turns itself around, that's what matters more than what happened against Inter. So I get it. I understood the criticism a lot of people had. Not playing Rafael Leao was a bizarre move. The formation changes, Arrigo Sacchi's comments about how Milan is negative and he lost the game before his players even got on the pitch with the kind of formation he went with. I get all that. I have to see long-term, though. If long-term it works, I'm not going to be mad at it because right now, here's what happened long-term. We recognize that Malik Chow is a good center back, and we're going to be playing a 3-man backline now. That possibly offers more stability in defense in the absence of Mike Maignan. One game at a time, guys. That's my only thing. One game at a time. Do you think we can pay Pochettino? No, absolutely not. We cannot. I don't think Poch would do better than Pioli, to be honest. I don't remember his coaching style at Spurs. I know his results were pretty good. No trophies, but good. But I do Theo Hernandez, that's a good ball out to Divock Origi with a lovely back heel, but that didn't quite fall to Brahim Diaz. But I like the creativity that he's showing right now. See, there was a run there that Junior Messias was not able to make. He wasn't able to catch up, but I feel like if it was Alexis Alamakers, he would have caught up to that ball. And that's the issue that I have. Some of the moves, like even today with Pioli, I feel like CDK should have started instead of Brahim Diaz. I think Alexis should have still started ahead of Junior Messias, unless there are injuries, and I'm wrong. My Wi-Fi provider is very bad, so just listening to you, my friend. Oh, that's very kind of you, man. I wish I could show you guys the screen and all too, but obviously we know I can't do that. But yeah, I mean, I'll try and give my best commentary for the game. We're about 16 minutes in. Still sitting 0-0. At this point in time, it's a balance of powers. I would say both teams have played relatively averagely okay. Junior Messias from the back passes it out to Tata Rushanu. Tata Rushanu goes out to, hey, good ball from Tata. Intercepted, but still a good attempt. I don't mind that. That's Mike Maignan kind of stuff. All right, so this feed that I'm showing to you guys is a little bit ahead, so I definitely cannot look at the screen. I just have to look at your comments. Oh, jeez. All right, one request, guys. If Milan scores a goal, which they will at some point in time, take a minute to put it in the comments. Just take 1 minute to put it in the comments. Right, so I just want to naturally react to the goal myself, because I know a lot of you guys just tune in here to just watch how wildly I might behave, and I'm okay with that. I'm not mad at that. Do you think Noah Lang can solve our issues on the right wing? I was hearing that Noah Lang can even potentially play as a left winger, right? He would kind of be a Rafael Leao replacement if Milan brings him on. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the screen here for you guys so we can kind of look at how Noah Lang actually plays. Because I think if you look here, his preferred position is what? As a right winger? Accept all. Yeah, why not? FBI, yeah, see, he's a left winger. So his preferred position is actually on the left wing. So that's the thing about Noah Lang. Like, he can play on the right wing, but his preferred position is the left wing. So I don't know if he can solve our problems on the right wing if he's not actually technically a right winger, right? So that's the thing. Brahim Diaz, lovely wiggle. Pass. Brahim's only problem is he's doing everything perfectly right. He's getting his... If somebody can sit him down, the coach can sit him down and just talk to him and say, Brahim, Rafael Leao just shot from distance! That was pretty close. That was a lovely strike from Leao. What happened there? Oh my goodness. Did that hit the goalpost behind the goal? I think it did hit the post that is behind the goal. My goodness, imagine if that went in. Oh no, it hit the goalpost. The outside of the goal. Incredible Leao. That's what we need more of. Shake them. Shake their back line, make them confused. But yeah, so Noah Lang might not actually be the solution for Milan. I don't know how much he's played on the right wing this season, though. I'm being a guy who's just looking at stats. I'm not actually looking at... I haven't seen him play properly on the field except for during the World Cup. The problem is that Pioli changed tactics too late. Why changing everything against Inter? Why not Sassuolo? Stubborn. That's why I hate Conte. Yeah, Conte's not going to change even if, the Spurs are in relegation zone from the looks of it, because he's really stubborn in how he wants to play. But it's probably because he sees that his system is work. I mean, if you really look at it from Antonio Conte's perspective and think about it, the guy's won 3 titles playing that formation. Not even 3, maybe 4 titles I think he's won. And in 3 different countries. Right? No, 3 different teams. Inter, Juventus, and Chelsea. So he thinks his system works. He's like, I don't have the pieces to work with that system, but my system works because I've proven that multiple times. So I also... Rafael Leao wins the ball. Oh, that could have been so much better for Milan if we just held on to that one. Monza's playing hot and cold. I don't know what they're trying to do, playing possession back line. Milan's completely pressing them right now. Pretty well, actually. Who would you get to replace Pioli? I don't know. I haven't thought about it, because to me, I don't think he's going to get fired. I don't think there's any possibility of Stefano Pioli getting fired. So for me, it's just like, just saying things out of thin air, just coming up with names. Because I don't think there's a coach that I see that I'm like, I'm absolutely convinced that he's going to be the right coach. And most importantly, again, I don't think he's going to get fired anytime soon. Give my man Pioli some good players and backups. Exactly. He needs the right depth as well. Look at the depth. Look at the bench that Milan has. And which game was I watching the other day? I mean, Man City's bench is obviously ridiculous, but that's the problem. Is like our bench strength isn't very good. He needs the right pieces. Oh, you know what I just realized? Florenzi's back too, so I'm kind of surprised Pioli played Messias. I know Florenzi cannot just be brought on to start a game like this. But Messias, I feel like there's just not that creativity on the right flank. Kush, am I the only one who thinks that it's weird that Messias is playing right wing back, not his natural position? I just said that, my friend. Literally was just talking about that. Before the game started, in the earlier match of the game, part of the game, that's what I was referring to. Messias he's not really playing as a right wing back. If you really think about it, he's playing as an attacking left winger like he used to. Milan wins a corner kick, or he might be actually offside there. That's the thing about Messias. He's kind of playing in more of an advanced role where he's going to be, cutting to his left foot and making those passes. But the way that Brahim Diaz has been asked to play, which is more on the right side, I don't get it. I don't get the Messias equation here. I really don't. And that's where some questions can be asked of Stefano Pioli. No question about that. You know what? I need to switch this. Tottenham Hotspur and no trophies is a thing, to be fair. Yeah, it is. It's true. After he turned 37, my man's been totally playing a much more reliable football. I won't say he's playing incredible football, but he's reliable right now. Tata's reliable. And, the thing is, like, in a match against Monza, and now I'm speaking too early because we're about 22 minutes in. It sits 0-0. Speaking a little early, but to me, it's like when you're watching Tata play, you're not stressed out. You're not worried. You can rely on him. And that's kind of the stability what Milan was looking for. My goodness, what kind of pass is that from Tonali? See, every single video I've made, I've talked about this thing about Tonali where he makes just bizarre passes. And he once again did that, where it's like, what is that for? What is that for? Why would you lose possession from that position? We should have bought Ziyech or Zaniolo. My friend, Zaniolo is probably still coming to Milan in the summer, just so you know. Zaniolo's move to Galatasaray is more about the fact that if you notice the contract that they've made, I think his buyout fee is 35 million, right? And I think it's because that is what Milan is willing to play in the summer market as long as we make Champions League. Oh, Kalulu cleared. That was dangerous. Cleared out by Kalulu. Passes it out to Rafael Leao. All the way, middle of the park. Monza gets back possession. Milan's not looking good right now. Nothing, no electricity from Milan. No Tottenham Hotspur, no Champions League vibes coming from Milan right now. Very lackluster. And these are the moments you get punished in when you don't take it seriously. Milan has to improve their intensity right now. You cannot possibly be sitting back and watching Monza play against you. But yeah, I think Zaniolo is still coming to Milan, by the way. I still think that's going to happen. Very likely. There were reports that I've already talked about in the previous live stream that Messias wins the ball. That's a good job from Messias. Messias. Pass it out. Rafael Leao. Is that going to be a goal? Rafael Leao from distance. Rafael Leao. Brahim! Wow, Brahim. You could have just passed it to Leao. Come on, Brahim. I can't really fault Brahim to not take a shot from there, but the goalkeeper's right on your feet. Nice work from Messias. Does a great job to win that ball. Makes that run. Makes the right pass, Messias. Doesn't hold on to the ball for too long. Rafael Leao with a shot from distance. The goalkeeper spills that embarrassingly. I don't know why Brahim tried to take that shot. It was a tight spot, to be fair to Brahim. I can't really fault him for taking that shot. But if he had just made that pass out to Rafael Leao, Malik Chow with the header over the top, so. But coming back to Zaniolo, yes, I think he's still going to be signed by Milan. There were reports, as I've already talked about. Paolo Maldini had a conversation with Zaniolo after he moved to Galatasaray, appreciating his negotiation and his patience and his work with Milan to be able to bring him to the club. And apparently, in the report, it's being said that Paolo Maldini said we're still going to be coming for in the summer. It's not like his buyout clause at Galatasaray is, like 50 million or something that Milan can't pay. He just couldn't stay at Roma anymore. After everything that unfolded, after the Milan rumors, after the move that was about to go through with Bournemouth, rejecting that move, then eventually accepting that move, everything that unfolded, his relationship with Jose Mourinho, After everything that unfolded, I think it was just untenable for him to stay at Roma. So he had to find a solution, and that was the solution he found for the time being. Noah is similar to Leao. He takes on a player, but his attitude is terrible. Yes, we've consistently heard this one criticism of Noah Lang, is that his attitude is a bit of a problem. And, CDK came from Club Brugge too. So I'll take a minute before we make another signing from that club or that league. For all you know, I don't know what to say. That's a yellow card for Marlon. He took Leao down there. Krunic is not very happy. But we're going to have to see if that was actually a foul. I thought that was a clean tackle. Let's see this. The referees are going to offer a little bit more protection to Rafael Leao just because they understand that it's Leao. He needs to be protected. And let's see if that was a clean tackle. That's a clean tackle. Oh, no. No. It's not. He gets the ball, but he scissored the player, his legs. Sounds weird, but he did. See, Brahim just had to find Leao there. Let him take a shot from distance on an empty net. Hey, that's what they said too, scissoring out the legs. Kalulu with a decent cross in. Is that going to... Oh, Rafael Leao holds on to that ball. Still cleared out. Looks like it's Monza ball. Like that, Rafa is being a bit quicker with his decisions and not being wasteful with chances today. Up until now, yeah, I would have to agree. He's taking his chances, taking a couple of shots from outside the box when he sees the opportunity, forcing the goalkeeper into a save, once hitting the crossbar or the goalpost. So Leao's looking good. And you know who else is looking good? Malik Chow. Just wins the ball. Easy money from Petania. I would love De Zerbi in some future. Brighton's been playing amazing, or pretty good at least. They're fighting for European football suddenly. So De Zerbi has been good. There was a lot of criticism before he joined, and now he's suddenly looking good. Nice work from Kalulu. Good job to win that ball back. Rade Krunic find a teammate, makes a good pass out to Junior Messias. That looks like a foul. It is a foul. I think Krunic will be better right wing back than Messias. Messias has been okay, though, to be fair. He has made a couple of challenges. He won the ball. He probably launched our best attack up until now, which should have been converted by Brahim Diaz or Rafael Leao. So I'm not gonna hate on Messias if he's playing well. Theo Hernandez from outside the box. That's a good ball for Fikayo Tomori. Tomori, or is that Origi? No, that was Tomori. That was Tomori. Theo Hernandez. That was another goal-scoring opportunity for Milan. So Milan's had a few opportunities to score a goal. And looks like they're checking something. Nope, nothing there. I thought they were checking for a penalty. We haven't had a lot of penalties this season, I've noticed. Theo Hernandez. Fikayo Tomori went all the way to the front. Took a shot from just close to the goal. And that could have been Milan's second or third goal already. See, that's the thing. Against the Spurs, same problem. Could have had a couple more goals. Today, sits 0-0, 30 minutes in, but could have had a couple of goals here too. And that's what Milan needs. Conversion. Chow plus Tomori plus Kalulu might be iconic in 5 years. 5 years? No. I'll give it a year and a half. If they can be really, really good as a backline, I won't say 5 years. I'd say pretty much by middle part of next season. You give them this season. You give them the beginning of next season. If they can show to have quality, play well in the group stage of the Champions League, because Milan will make top four. That's the goal. If those things can happen, I think this will be a good center back trilogy. Rafael Leao from the left flank. I'm not going to look at your comments. I don't know if something happened here. Rafael Leao. Leao keeps the ball, almost loses it. Use a teammate. Please pass. Origi. My God, these guys just don't pass. It's like borderline showboating, guys. Brahim Diaz and Leao. Junior Messias passed the ball out. Oh, what a terrible guy who does pass makes a terrible pass. Messias wins the ball back. Lovely work, Messias. Pass the ball to Brahim. Brahim back to Kalulu on the right. Kalulu with a cross. Rafael Leao. Take a shot. Messias! What a goal! Junior there, Messias! Let's go. What a shot from Messias. That was a thunder bullet. His 10th goal for AC Milan. Hey, let's put some respect on that name. We already criticized him. I criticized him. You criticized him. Then I stopped criticizing him, and I told you guys to stop criticizing him, to let the guy do his thing. Let's see if this goal is clean. I hope there's no VAR scare coming here. Messias, what a shot from that position. Fantastic. The goalkeeper does get his hands on it, but a lovely, lovely shot. Just didn't have the strength, the goalkeeper in his arms to be able to stop that. Looked like it would have been a better shot for Rade Krunic, but Messias with a fantastic shot from the edge of the box. Terrible position. His back was almost to the goal, so he had to really turn his back around. That's fantastic work on his right foot, pivoting perfectly, generating the power. Ibrahimovic is happy. Milan is up 1-0, and we're 30 minutes in. So lovely work from Milan. If you guys are happy about that response from Milan, make sure to hit the like button. I think there are only about 10 of you guys here, 5 likes. Let's double it up, just because that obviously helps the stream. And I have made a decision that from now on, I'm going to be asking for more things from you guys. Some likes, some maybe some membership. I'll be starting soon, but I have to make some special stuff in order to have any type of membership. I'm not making you guys pay for basic stuff that I make. So, but yes, that's this one's a big one. This is what Milan needed that goal. Calm down those nerves. We had a few chances. We converted, and here we are. Backline sounds good. Teo, Chao, Tomori, Kalulu backline does sound good, yeah. But as a 3-man defensive line, it sounds even more exciting because Milan can make certain commitments in attack too then. Malik Chao, lovely work against Andre Petagna. Wins the ball comfortably, forces him into a throw out. Perfect work from Malik. We could get Nicolas Pepe on cheap from Arsenal. For which position? I actually don't. I don't know what position he plays. Chao reminds me of Rudiger. You know what? That is actually not. That's not too bad. I can actually see that kind of. The issue with Leao is because Malik Chao has that. He has that lankiness, right? He's tall, kind of like Rudiger. Looks like a little bit sloppy when running, but has the pace and has the strength both. A lot of defenders you're going to see they're going to be tall and big, but Malik Chao is a little bit more on the skinnier side, but he has the strength to be able to mitigate these guys. So I kind of see that Rudiger thing that you're talking about there. Chao reminds me of Saliba. Yes, Messias. Okay to say goal? Yes, it is okay to say goal, my friend. Yes, absolutely. You can scream it out loud now. Vamos, caramba. Really hope we can see Zlatan. It would be exciting to see him back. I think there's a very good chance. If Milan sticks, I think if we can get the right result, we can double up our lead. And around that 85th minute, I think Pioli might give him 5 minutes to play. I don't expect Ibrahimovic to play from the 70th minute on or 60th minute on. It's going to be 5 minutes or maybe, just maybe, even injury time. But I don't think that's going to be the case because if we're up 2-0, I think Pioli will bring him on. Just kind of get him warmed up a little bit for the rest of the season. Now let's get a 1-2, 1 or 2 more goals and seal this victory. Exactly. That's what we need. Dominating. Maldini again with an option by masterclass. Hey, Messias did the job. Happy with the performance thus far? Yes, I think I'm also pretty happy with how... I'm happy that we converted. I feel like we've still been wasteful with our chances, but I'm happy that we are 1-0 up, and that's exactly what we needed. Let's see if I can cash out on my bet already, because at the beginning of the match, I did place a bet on Milan. No, we can wait for this to double up. I can't believe they gave Milan plus 120 against Monza. That's amazing odds for anybody who wants to bet. Like, Milan should be favorites in this match easy. It should have been minus 100 or something. Brahim Diaz with a decent ball out to Rafael Leao, but that didn't actually fall through. Brahim Diaz, can he win the ball back? Nope. He cannot. Milano to Monza is like saying Toronto to Mississauga. So technically it's Derby. Yeah, it is. But how do you know Mississauga? Are you in Canada? Because not a lot of people would know Mississauga, and a lot of people would definitely not know how to spell it. So now I'm curious. Pepe plays right wing as a lefty. Clear. So that's kind of like Messias then. This is Berlusconi Derby, to be fair. Yes, Berlusconi's not going to be happy. Galliani's not going to be happy. But low-key, I think deep down, they'll be a little bit happy to see Milan win. If Leao can score, I'll be happy. I'll tell you what, I want 2 players to score. Rafael Leao and actually Origi would be a good goal scorer too, but definitely Leao and CDK. I'll be honest, CDK for me. Tonali. Come on, man. Sandro. To be honest, the most beautiful thing right now is that we didn't concede for a decade. At least it feels like that. Yeah. How long has it been? It's been 2 matches now in a row. This is the 3rd game. Let's hold on to the clean sheet, double up our lead, maybe triple up our lead, and seriously get exactly what we need from today's match, which is the right result. Pick up the 3 points, stop the stressing, get another clean sheet. We have the pieces now. We're slowly getting the pieces back. And if this is how Milan keeps playing, and we get Benacer back, and we get Mike Maignan back, goodbye Spurs. Milan's going to the quarterfinals of the Champions League after 11 years, I think. For sure. Brahim Diaz, lovely footwork. Rade Krunic passed it out to Tonali. Krunic. Milan was patiently building an attack there, but Krunic with a bad pass. And Tonali just caught flat-footed. Tonali's too young to be making a mistake. Not mistake, but moving like that. It does look like a corner kick. Oh, you're in Montreal. So you're part of Montreal, AC Milan Club Montreal? Or Milan Club Montreal? CDK needs his goal. CDK is the one person who needs a goal more than anybody. I mean, we all saw what Rafael Leao was saying. Oh, he's definitely not offside. We saw what, Leao was saying to CDK during the Tottenham match. CDK could have had a goal, man. He could have had a Champions League goal for Milan, for sure. If only Milan had doubled up that game, or scored a couple goals or 3 goals against Spurs, it would have been so comfortable in the second leg, especially with Maignan and everybody back. I do want to compliment Serie A for one thing, and I'll share this with you guys. I did go on another show. Oh man, I forgot the name of the show. I have to find that name. I did go on a show where we were talking about how Serie A's production is and how never a foul. That's the name of the show. So if you guys want to check it out, Never a Foul. They had me on. They had a couple other guys on. We had a good conversation about the Spurs, Milan, and a couple other games, Bayern, PSG, and all that. They were kind enough to have me on. And the person who runs it, Mo, he's an Inter fan. And he was just talking to me about how the production style in Premier League is so much more different than in Serie A. So a lot of the matches that you watch in the Premier League, when you go to the stadium for real, the grass doesn't actually look like that. Their kits don't look as bright when you're watching the match. So when you're actually in post or during the production of the actual game, they're like highlighting the players' jerseys. They're making them stand out. The overall quality of the production of Premier League is such high level that it doesn't compare. That's a dangerous ball in, but that goes out for a goal kick. We're about 40 minutes in now. Milan up 1-0 away to Monza. The production quality is very different. The grass is not as green as it looks on the screen. Today when I'm watching Monza-Milan, it looks really good. Before the match, Serie A had a live stream on YouTube of the warm-ups. These are the things that this league needs to do more of. Get involved in media. Don't just say, we have a match at 2 o'clock. Just show up at 2 o'clock and watch the game. And we'll just show one angle of the screen. No, you have to have different angles. You have to have slow motion cameras. You have to have the cameras that blur out the background. Like my wall is basically blurred out. I can afford to get a camera like this that blurs out my background. Why is Serie A not investing heavily in their production style? Today's match, Monza's red looks crisp. The grass looks beautifully green. And I just like what I'm looking on the screen. It looks good. I like the camera angle. So, Serie A needs to improve, and hopefully they are improving. And that's what we can see. That's the product we can see on the field and on our screens. If we play like this with Isma and Mike, no offense to Spurs, but we're already through then. Yes, I absolutely, completely concur on that one. Last time in the quarters of the Champions League, I think it's against Barca 2011. Yes, I think Milan played Arsenal, beat them 4-0. Robinho got a brace. Ibrahimovic got a goal. Boateng got a goal. And in the second leg, Arsenal took a 3-0 lead in the first half in London. I still remember, man, I was dating this girl. I went into her room and I started crying. You guys think I'm joking. I'm not joking. Milan was up 4-0. We had been struggling in the Champions League for years. And we got that 4-0 lead. We went to London and we were 3-0 down at halftime. I was crying in her bed. She was like, what's going on? I was like, they messed it up. They effed it up. And she's like, it'll be fine. There's still a second half to go. I'm like, I know they're going to concede. I know they're not going to be able to get through the next round. Fortunately, we didn't concede in the second half and we made it through. But yeah, that was the last time Milan got through the round of 16, and hopefully this happens again this year. And that's when you look at the whole picture of Stefano Pioli's coaching period at Milan. You look at the fact that 5th place, 2nd place, 1st place, knockout rounds of the Champions League. Oh, this is dangerous. Fikao Tomori stays on him. Does actually a pretty decent job on Petagna and gets a goal kick from Milan. This is exactly what we needed. I thought that was Malik Chow, but Fikao Tomori needs to get his form back as well. So that was good. So yeah, Stefano Pioli, 5th place, 2nd place, Serie A title, makes it into the knockout rounds, into the quarterfinals of the Champions League after a long time. These are all positive things that Milan needs. They are doing a VAR check, I think. Are they? They were. Okay, it's done now. Kevin Prince Boateng goal and then Messi masterclass. Abbiati can't touch nothing. Oh, that was a quarterfinal match? Oh, yes, it was. That ridiculous goal from Boateng. I remember that. Right, I think Milan lost 3-2 or something at home. Something like that. I do recall that match. Or at least that whole aggregate. That was an incredible Barcelona side too. That's when they had money to spend. We shouldn't underestimate Spurs' job is not over, head down. Hey, fair enough. Fair point. This is the approach that we took last season during the Serie A campaign. 1 game at a time. Job's not done yet. We saw all those pictures of Kobe, so I'm actually I agree with you. We should keep it that way, maybe. But we'll feel confident, right? Going into the first leg against Spurs, we didn't feel very confident. We were kind of like, well, I guess we'll have to wait and watch and see what Milan does. So that's what happened before the first leg. If we have Mike back, Isma back, and we're playing like this, I think we have the right to be more confident, but definitely not thinking that it's already over. 2005 vibe all over again. Hey. We don't talk about that, my friend. We don't talk about that. We just stay away from that topic. Sandro Tonali. 360 turn. Sandro. So my plan was to actually just put out a 4 takeaway today because I think I'm going to revert more to the 4 takeaways, do a little bit less lives because I feel like more people like to tune into the 4 takeaways. They're curious about that. But I am flying out day after tomorrow. I'm going overseas, so I'll have to see how I'm going to put content together from there. I'm going away for about a month and probably a month and a half. So I'll have to put some content together from there. Keep an eye on the shorts. I'll be putting out, YouTube shorts, TikTok. If you guys are not following me on TikTok already, make sure you do. Similar stuff to the YouTube shorts, but TikTok is crazy, man. TikTok just surprises me as to how much people actually watch that. I think my 4th or 5th video, I just got on TikTok in December during the World Cup. 4th or 5th video, 1 million, 2 million, 1.5 million. I'm like, what is going on here? Messias. But yeah, check out the TikTok channel as well. But for sure, whatever you see on the shorts, you're likely to find it on TikTok, but there's some special stuff there too. Malik Chow. Pierre Kalulu from the right flank. We're almost approaching halftime now. At this point in time, Malik, Sandro Tonali, Theo Hernandez. Oh, Theo slips there. Good ball out to Brahim. That if only that had fallen to Brahim, that would have been an Andrea Pirlo-esque pass. Nice work from Theo. Wins the ball from Marlon. Sandro Tonali. Dish the ball out sooner. Quick, Sandro. Don't do this. These guys have to dish the ball out quicker. What are you doing, Sandro? You're playing like me, bro. All you had to do was pass it to one of your teammates at the edge of the box. Come on, man. Serie A have improved when it comes to their media production over the past few years. These improvements can help them bring more eyes to the league and partially help them get better deals, TV deals abroad. Yeah, exactly. This is what you need to do in order to be able to compete in today's footballing world. If your production style is not good, which I saw a game yesterday, I think. That was not a good game to watch at all. I think it was Napoli. It was one of the Serie A games, and I was like, this is such poor quality of production. Just like, it just looked bland on the screen. The grass was not even color graded at all. It was like bland green color. And I was thinking more about what Mo had said on that podcast, and I was like, he's right. I can actually see that Serie A, some productions just don't look as good as others. And that one just didn't. That match was at the San Siro. It was Inter playing somebody, now that I remember. Yeah, Spurs are good, but with Mike in the back, we look like Man City for some reason. We do feel good, but don't forget, they did beat Man City. So don't forget that part. I think they beat Man City 3-1 or something. So hopefully we don't exactly look like Man City that they beat. We're about 1 minute into halftime. 46 minutes in. I like the live streams. Yeah, I do like doing live streams, I'll be honest, but I've noticed there's a serious drop-off in interest in live streams. I don't know why that is. I don't know if there's more options. I'm not complaining, but I'm saying, like, there was a time probably before the World Cup when live streams about Milan, when I used to go live for Milan matches, I would probably be having at least 100 people watching. And now it's, a smaller amount. You guys are always tuning in. I see everybody's familiar name. I recognize all of you guys. So I appreciate you guys still sticking around. But I was like, okay, it is a lot because I'm alone. So it's a lot of talking for a solo guy. And for that reason, I'm like, it is a little bit tiring. So maybe I should do live stream. That's a dangerous ball, but Theo Hernandez does clear that out. This should be halftime. But Monza launching a little bit last-minute attack before we kick into second. Fika Tomori with the clearance. Shot from distance. Is he going to take a shot? No. Divock Origi, don't foul him. Edge of the box. Pessina crosses the ball from the left flank. That is a corner kick. Oh, that's a throw. Sorry, goal kick. But yeah, so I did see a drastic drop off in live stream. So I'll measure it out. I'll see which, how I'm going to continue moving forward. But I'll still keep making content. No doubt about that. We need CDK in for Brahim. In the second half, I genuinely hope Stefano Pioli makes that change. Milan needs to be more aggressive in the attacks. I had enough with the 1-0 wins. Hey, fair enough. I'm the kind of guy who's happy to pick up. Sometimes Siri just comes on for no reason. I'm the kind of guy who's happy to pick up 3 points regardless of the scoreline. But I do hear you. I mean, it's good to be a dominant team. It builds your confidence if you win if you win games 3-0 instead of always winning 1-0. How is he not called halftime yet? This should be it. There we go. It's halftime. Milan haven't really looked very concerned up until now. It doesn't look like their side has really done too much. So let me know in the comment section, who's your, I guess, star of the match till now, man of the match till now, and who's your flop of the match till now? I do see Uncle Sharma in our Uncle Sharma is here. He's just trying to jinx this. I'm telling you, I'm getting those jinx vibes here from this Interista. But let's see what he has to say. Did you ever explain your rebrand from Milan Corner to Football Kush? Apologies if you have already. Uncle Sharma, I did. I made a little post in the community tab. If I ever disappear from the channel or whatever, there's always a reason why. I always try and fill you in the community tab as to where I am. Maybe I'm traveling or doing something. The reason why I rebranded is because, I'll give you a quick rundown before we jump back into the game. I feel like there's a certain ceiling, unfortunately, when you're making content about Serie A teams. I think there is a certain benchmark that you can't cross. And if you want to make content outside of Milan, it is not received as well because, if I go live for a Real Madrid versus Liverpool Champions League final, none of the people who are watching really care. So I wanted to diversify, and I had this idea of making content about football in general. I want to talk about football stories. So now if you look at my shorts, you'll see I talk about Messi, Ronaldo. I talk about everything, really. Ibrahimovic, who's scoring in which league. I enjoy that, talking about some guy who made $250,000 from betting $20 or something on the World Cup match. I like making content like that. But if you just are Milan Corner, you're just limited to Milan. So I just wanted to diversify and have a brand that will allow me to be able to make content outside of just one team. But I'm always going to make Milan stuff. That's really the reason. A little drawn out reason, but that is it. Your name is a little bit, it's a little bit friendly for football. Your jersey says a lot, but your name still allows you to be there. So honestly, I couldn't come up with the names. I was like, football kush, let's just get it done. Let's just start making content. So if you guys haven't already, I did make a whole piece about Serie A and how Serie A fell off and all that stuff. And I feel like I would be limited in making that stuff if I was just a Milan guy. So check it out if you haven't already, by the way. Second leg versus Tottenham. Is there Højbjerg suspended? Then we will win, and maybe we play again. Benfica, what's your opinion, bro? Love from Pakistan. I appreciate Ibrahim. I have seen you in the comments pretty often, so I appreciate you always watching. Is Højbjerg actually suspended for the next match? Because I know he was injured, but I think they do expect him to be back. I don't actually know definitively if he's actually going to be technically back for the match against Tottenham, against Milan. But it does improve their quality drastically, right? I mean, they lost their creativity with Bentancur and Højbjerg being out. With him being back, they will be a little bit more dangerous, but it also means that we will have Ismail Benacer back. That will also make us more dangerous. We will also have Mike Maignan back, hopefully. That will also make our defense more strong. So I think, as I've always said about Milan and Tottenham, it's been an even matchup throughout. All the way from the draw, all the way from the choppy form, all the way from the coaching issues, star players not performing, to the match result that we had in the first leg. Pretty even tie up until now between Milan and them. So far, so good. I bet. Greetings from Singapore. Just got back to a hotel from a heavy night out. I'll follow match with your commentary. I appreciate it, my friend. You live in Singapore or just went there to party? Because I would like to do that too. I'm actually going close to Singapore. I'm trying to go to not Thailand. I'm trying to go to Indonesia at the end of March. I will be in India in the month of, I'm leaving day after tomorrow. So yeah, that's in the month of this one. Who's your hope for the quarterfinals draw? My hope for the quarterfinals draw. Well, I guess somebody mentioned Benfica. If they're not going to be a lot of teams that you're going to have an easier time with, right? And I'm not claiming at all that that's an easy team to play. I'm just saying that there's not going to be any easy matchups. So if I really open this up, and I'm going to switch screens right now since you did ask that question. We open up the Champions League here. Let's go into the browsing tab and take a look at what's happening here. All right, so the teams that you can really play knockout phases. I don't know the technicalities, right, where you can't play a team from this system or from that. Or I think at the quarterfinals, they don't care anymore. They'll open it up to everybody. Right now, Benfica are leading against Club Brugge. So really, of these teams, who would we want to play? Club Brugge would be a nice team to play. The rest are all pretty much on our level, to be honest. And above us, really. I don't mean like our level, and above. So really, Club Brugge, Benfica, Porto, and Frankfurt. I would say those four teams, and of course Inter, since Uncle Sharma is here. Inter is a little bit, lower than us, always. But right now, with Milan, I think Club Brugge, Benfica, Porto, these are the teams that we can play. But it's Champions League football, guys, so nothing's really going to be easy or anything. But I guess that's what I would say. Another solid match from Chow. So far in the first half, absolute revelation, this guy up until now. No question about it. Malik Chow has been fantastic. They're building quite a partnership in the back line. If these guys can really stay on form with Malik and Tomori and Kalulu, and we absolutely need one more quality center back as a backup and, kind of create that competition dynamic within the team. And there's going to be a possibility that we will sign a new quality center back in the summer market and possibly make it into a Tomori, Chow, and new center back line of three men and put Kalulu on the right flank. That is a possibility. Then we'll have Kalulu, Alexis, Florenzi, and Messias possibilities, and obviously probably a couple of those guys will be gone. I think Florenzi has a 1-year contract, so I think he'll be gone after this season. So I think we're probably going to be looking for a quality center back this mercato. But that's my assumption. Seeing this team, they're pretty not good at pulling the trigger and making those calls. Greetings, everyone. Good match so far. Yes, well, we are up, so we're definitely very happy. Would you live stream Premier League games? I don't think right now. I think I want to just focus on Milan live streams, Milan reviews, and just make general timeless content about football. So I have a video coming out about Napoli. I have a video coming out about Juventus. See, these are the things I couldn't have done if I was Milan Corner. So I have a video that I've planned out for Napoli, for Juventus, and I have a video that I've planned out for a couple of coaches. There are coaches that are considered to be the greatest of all time. I have a debate that I think somebody else is actually the greatest of all time compared to the one who's actually called the greatest of all time. So those are content that I can't make if I'm just Milan Corner. But as football coach, I can make all of this stuff. So my focus is Milan on live streams and reviews and even the transfer market. But then I make timeless stuff about a lot of other teams. But can't go live for Premier League games right now. I can't. Just don't have time, man. I also have a real estate business to run, so that's a whole other story. If we get Benfica, Dortmund, who are good but beatable, and go to semifinals, it will feel like a Scudetto to me. If Milan goes to the semifinals of the Champions League, that is a 100% Scudetto for us this season. Pioli, please take Krunic off. He can only get another yellow or lose possession another 100 times. I'm so tired of seeing that guy in a Milan. No, come on, bro. Don't say that, Joel. Or Joel, sorry, I don't know how to say your name. No, man. Krunic is a good role player. He's filled a gap, man. He's 2 games in a row. He was good against Torino. He was good against Tottenham. More defensive against Tottenham. Not really. Doesn't offer any creativity. I just don't think it's his job to offer creativity. I think his job is to offer stability. And he does do that, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be that critical of Krunic, but I have seen him make some wayward passes that haven't really fallen to anybody. And if he's on a yellow, which I actually don't know if he is, then I guess you could take him off. Who are you going to bring on, though? Bakayoko? Or who? Vronx? Maybe. But who's a replacement? Because I don't think Benacer is playing. Man, when Theo was down holding his muscle, yes, I know. I agree with you. Flop of the match, Tonali, unfortunate. Come on. What are you saying, man? Tomori's... Oh, you said Tonali. I heard Tomori for some reason. Yes, you're right. Absolutely. Tonali's been the flop of the match for me for 3 games in a row now. If you guys have watched my reviews, you know that that's where I stand right now. And even today, his passing. That pass that he made out to Theo Hernandez on the left flank, switch of play, I don't know what that was. And more and more noticeable. He was advanced position, players on the edge of the box, doesn't pass it to anybody, takes it to the corner flags and loses possession. I don't know what Tonali is doing right now. My hope quarterfinal is Liverpool. I want to always put one over them. Yeah, but their form is not good. I know, but if they beat Real Madrid and we get them, I'm a little concerned, my friend. Quarterfinal, everyone can play everyone. Oh, there we go. Okay, so no restrictions. At first, Messias looked a bit lost, but little by little, he came back effective. Yes, he's our winner right now, winning goal right now. Uncle Sharma, if you guys haven't already, if you guys are, you really, really dislike Inter, which I highly recommend you do, and you want to watch, anytime Inter loses, you want to watch a brown man just like me cry, make sure to go Uncle Sharma's channel. Make sure you guys subscribe because he does have a lot of content outside of Inter. And whenever Inter loses, just make sure to check out his channel for sure. It's the truth. Krunic is the Tata Rushano of the midfield. Yeah, but in a good way or a bad way, because Tata has been pretty good for the last couple of matches. So I actually don't mind that. I don't know if that's a compliment or not. Vronx over Krunic any day. Okay, so I hear you. I can't be mad at that. I mean, at some point in time, Milan does have to give an opportunity to the younger guys. Yassin Adli clearly isn't playing, and I get it. But giving Vronx an opportunity over Krunic, I won't be too mad at that, but I think that switch could happen at 2-0. I think 1-0, I'd still rather have Krunic there and have that stability. Would you agree with me that our team is actually weaker than it was last season? None of the players we signed during the transfer window have improved our team. Sorry, let me read that again. Would you agree that our team is actually weaker than it was last season? None of the players we signed during the transfer window have improved our team with the exception of Chow. I wouldn't say weaker because I think experience counts. I think a lot of these guys are more... Last season, we finished bottom in the Champions League group. This time around, we are looking potentially have the lead to get into the quarterfinals. That all came, and it's still the same team, just like your point made, right? It's still pretty much the same 11. It's experience that allowed them to be able to be more comfortable on the field and compete with the big sides. So I think technically, I don't think they're weaker because I think they're more experienced. But if you look at on paper and the purchases that Milan made, we didn't strengthen ourselves. We have Origi playing right now, but I mean, 2 goals for the season for him. So that wasn't an improvement. You have Yassin Adli, barely plays. You have Vronx, barely plays. You have Malik Chow. That's one player on this side. And then you have CDK. So you're right. Malik Chow is really the only improvement up until now. But I think in some ways we got, smarter and better. But in some ways, yeah, I guess we didn't improve. What are you expecting for the summer window? All depends on Champions League. If we make Champions League, we could do something. If we don't make Champions League, don't be surprised if Rafael Leao is sold. Don't be surprised. If anything, which I am, I'm a betting man. I did put money on Milan's game today. But I would say 90% Leao is sold if there's no Champions League football. So Champions League football becomes consequential for Milan to make it through. I don't like Inter that much, but Uncle Sharma and Inter Worldwide are great. Yes, I absolutely agree with you on that. Both great channels. Support the small channels, guys. I know there are a lot of big channels. Always watch them. They all also make great content. But support the small channels too. It always helps us. Holy. Talking for 45 minutes to a camera. Nobody in the room. Fun job. Krunic is Pioli's teacher. Is Pioli? Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Pioli loves Krunic. Pioli loves Messias. I'll tell you what, I don't think it's about being just like, the prototypical teacher's pet. I think it's work ethic. I think Pioli sees them work really hard in training because, it's what Jose Mourinho also always preferred. He was like, I want guys that work hard and have lower skill level over guys who don't work hard and have really good skill. They sell them. He sold Zaniolo. He sold Dele Alli from the clubs that he was at. Do some shorts videos about our history, like the 3 Swedish players we've signed 94. You gave me some ideas last time too. Sell, bench, start. I still have it written here, my friend. Sell, bench, start. See, I appreciate what you guys do. I appreciate your comments. I always take them down. So this is also a good idea. I have thought about this one, and I will. But if you guys haven't already, make sure to check out the shorts that I put out too. I try to, put some different stuff outside of Milan. Just some did you know kind of stuff. I like to do that. It's always good to have players like Krunic in the squad. Yes, role players are key to a team's success. They absolutely are. And very undervalued mostly. Coaches are the ones that appreciate them. If Leao doesn't sign, he'll have to be sold regardless of whether we get Champions League. If Leao doesn't sign, I guess, fair point. They could try to negotiate in the middle of the season. But I know they've gotten burnt before with Donnarumma, with Kessie, and with Çalhanoğlu, so I know they don't want to do that again. But probably, I think they've learned from the past, and they realize that if he doesn't sign by the kickoff of the next season, or at least the end of this season, we'll have to sell him. I think Milan needs consistency in results. They need Leao to start scoring again. They need consistency in results where they start to solidify top 4. Then they'll open the negotiations back up because now they'll be like, okay, we're almost guaranteed to get Champions League football. We will get that 15-20 million bonus. Sponsors are going to be happy the fact that we're playing at the highest competition. So, okay, now we're looking good. Now we can offer Leao that renewal. So let's see. Swiss knife Krunic. Yeah, can do a lot of things for sure. I want Leao to go either way. In what respect? Do you want to elaborate, my friend, there? I know Krunic should be a bench player to bring stability in the second half. But I don't get the hate on him. He always gives his all, and we don't have a better replacement for Benacer. We don't. If I was given an option in a tricky match to play Krunic or Vronks, I will have to go with Krunic. I do. I think stability matters to me way more than experimentation. It depends on the game, as I said. So if we're up 2-0, bring Vronks on. Give the guy some time. He was pretty good. But don't forget, that second goal that Milan conceded, or the first goal that Milan conceded against Roma, I think it was the second one, actually, the winner. That second goal that Milan conceded against Roma, 2-2, that was a mistake made by Vronks. And that's usually what happens when you have younger, inexperienced players. They do make those mistakes, which is fine. Players are allowed to make mistakes when you're young and you're new to the team. But then you have to accept that as being a reality. So before the second half kicks off, guys, if you guys haven't already, once again, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. Also, obviously, hit the like button. I said it a few times now, but helps the channel. So I appreciate it before the second half kicks off. Now, it looks like we are kicking off with the second half. Should really be giving Pobega more time. I feel like he can break into the team like Chow. I don't know, man. I haven't seen what I want to see in Pobega. I think I've seen more in Vronks than I've seen in Pobega. For me, the hierarchy would be Krunic, Vronks, Pobega, to be honest. He did score that goal against Roma. He looks okay most of the times, but there's just something about the reliability that I just don't feel comfortable. Not yet, at least. I feel like Leao is a shadow of what he was last season, sadly. He's definitely hot and cold more this time around, but don't forget, last season, around this time is when Leao kicked it into next gear, right? It was when we were in the final 15 to 12 matches of the season where we needed to win the title. So that can still happen. It was really what he did in the second half of the season, Leao, that got us the title compared to what he did in the first half of the season. At least that's what I recall. So I'd still give him time. Today can be a big day. He can hopefully get a goal. Chow can be developed as well. He is, and he's developing almost without a lot of assistance in terms of he's not sitting on the bench anymore. The guy's actually growing and developing on the field, which is massive, and he's reliable. You feel it. You felt that way about Tonali last season. Every season, Milan has had a defensive revelation, right? The season before last was Tomori. Last season was Kalulu, and this season is Malik Chow. And that can be our three-man backline moving forward. So, and just look at the prices, right? I mean, Tomori did cost us quite a bit, but the rest didn't. Rather Vronx than Pobega, especially with the system. Yeah, I think so too. I think I would rather. Oh, that almost fell to Rafael Leao. Sandro Tonali makes a lateral pass when he probably should have moved forward. Rafael Leao, is he going to pass that out? Oh, Theo was stopped there. He's not very happy with the referee. Is he going to get a yellow card? Nope, he's going to get a talking to. The referee walks up to Theo, says, don't have conversations with me for no reason. Don't yell at me. I'm not giving you a yellow, but next time I will. That's good game management from the referee for sure. I like that. Not just running into his pocket and dishing out a card. He said, no, you come here, talk to me first. And even Theo started smiling because I felt like he also thought he might get a yellow. I think Theo is also one yellow away from missing the next match, I believe. So he definitely doesn't want to waste that around. Come on, man. We definitely want to keep Leao, but just stating the obvious. If he doesn't renew, we can't afford to lose his value. Jerry won't spend a bean. I don't think we've seen enough from his ownership, though. I get the foundation that they're sort of creating. Theo Hernandez with a throw in. That's a dangerous ball in. Rafael Leao. Oh, it just fell to a Monza player. If it just ping-ponged to one of the Milan players, it could have had something. We've only seen one full transfer window from these guys, right? I think they took over the ownership after the summer market closed. So we've really seen one window from them in the winter, which I feel like none of the clubs really spent much in the Mercato. So I'd still have to give him a couple of transfer windows to be able to see what Cardinal's plan really is. But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that suddenly it's going to be like a 200 million spend or something. Milan's budget's probably going to be tops. I'd be stunned if it's 80 million. Stunned. I'd think 60 million, maybe. That too is a maybe. Because we're going to get prize money from whatever position we finish in Serie A. Junior Messias makes a decent ball in. Oh, that falls to Tonali. Is that... I think he might have been offside, though. Theo Hernandez gets the ball at the edge of the box. Brahim Diaz. Guys, let's get a second here. Yeah, I need to see a couple of windows from him to be able to definitively say how they're going to spend. But yeah, I'm with you. They're not spending too much. But your earlier point was we want to keep Leao, but just stating the obvious, if he doesn't renew, we can't afford to lose his value. Yeah, we need cash. You're right. And that will give us about 100 million. Potentially. I don't even think a lot of teams are going to pay 100 million for him anymore because he's in his final contract here. So I would think somewhere between 80 to 100 is possible. Does he win a corner kick? No. With Pobega, I can see him break our next season alongside CDK. It's his first season. Let us not forget. Fair enough. Yeah. Kind of what happened with Tonali. He did change and then change back again this season for some reason. Rade Krunic to Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz was a bunch of space there. Brahim from the right flank. Divock Origi is going to pass the ball out to Brahim Diaz. He doesn't. Junior Messias holding on to the ball, driving towards goal. Tries to take a shot for some reason. Brahim, pass the ball. One of you guys. He's completely unmarked on the right, Rafael Leao. Why doesn't Brahim just pass? Pass. Unmarked man. Jesus. Man, I miss Kessie. Yeah. His creativity in attack, his defensive presence, for sure. And the worst part is we didn't replace him with anybody, right? That's why we miss him more, is because we didn't do anything about it. I would love Rovella in Milan. Players playing well. If the Bahrain group took over Milan, do you think we would be above Napoli in the league? I wouldn't say that there's any guarantee on results, but yeah, there would be a guarantee on spending. Divock Origi with a decent ball from the edge of, almost from the corner flag there. Rade Krunic. Kalulu goes out to Tonali. Tonali. Krunic. Messias. Krunic. Kalulu. Theo Hernandez. Come on, guys. Tonali. That could have been a decent ball from Theo to Rafael Leao, but he just didn't make that pass. Tomori goes back to Krunic. Milan playing a little bit more central now. The issue is Milan needs to involve Rafael Leao a little bit more. I don't know why he's so central right now. Leao. He wants to play central according to Pioli. He wants to play almost like a striker. Kalulu to Krunic, middle of the park. Kalulu holds on to possession. Back to Tomori. Tomori to Theo on the left flank. Theo. Back to Tomori. Milan really trying to break down the Monza defense here. Tomori goes out to Kalulu on the right. Kalulu to Messias. Messias back in his own half. Makes this cross out. Oh my goodness, gives out the ball. That's dangerous. This might be a goal, guys. Jesus. Oh Lord, thank God. Not a goal, but that was dangerous. Messias with a pointless cross to Sandro Tonali. Andrea Petagna just needed to hit. He just absolutely did not hit anything but Tata Rusciano Petagna there. He went straight for Tata. Incredible. If the Bahrain club took over Milan, do you think he would have been... yeah, as I said, again, over Napoli is hard to say, but we would have spent more money for sure. I don't know who's going to buy player with 1 year on contract left. We are an illusion that we can... Is that a penalty? Oh, he gets a yellow card for diving. He gets a yellow for diving, but obviously they're going to take a look at it through VAR. Let's just see what's going to happen now. I actually didn't see what happened here. I'm going to wait this out. Pessina kept touching Tomori's chest, just pushing him back a little. He just kept hitting his hand. He touches the chest, hits the hand. Touches the chest, hits the hand. Theo Hernandez, did he actually take him down there? That does not look like a foul to me at all. How is that a penalty? What kind of dive is that from Birindelli? It's not, first of all, it's not a foul. There's no foul there. It's outside the box. He dives himself inside the box, and then he asks for a penalty. Of course you're going to get a yellow, my friend. That was just embarrassing from Monza. But yeah, this comment about Leao and the 1 year left on the contract, we're an illusion that the thing is, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a fortune. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that, there are a lot of, being a realtor in Toronto, there are a lot of houses that are not really worth that much. But when you have buyers and you have multiple buyers and you make them bid each other and you try to outcompete each other, you do a lot of the times end up paying an inflated price. That's really what Milan is relying on with Leao. It's like, okay, we have this high quality potential superstar on our hands. He has 1 year left on his contract. We want to sell him. Chelsea, are you in? Atletico Madrid, you lost João Felix. Are you in? Whoever, Real Madrid, I don't think they're going to go for him, but I'm just naming teams now. Are you guys in? Is anybody in? And if 2 or 3 teams are in, you could get about 15 to 20 million more than you probably would have if it was just one player. if it was just one team. So for that reason, I think you still can generate some demand for Leao, especially if he plays well, right? Especially if he starts to score and becomes that player that he was at the end of last season. Suddenly, multiple teams are going to want him. And I think it's possible that Milan can get a good price. Their biggest buyers were Chelsea, and from the looks of it, now Chelsea are not going to be buying Leao. So that's the one thing that is a little concerning. Now, they are taking a corner kick right now. Monza-Milan does have to defend this well. Messias with the clearance. Messias has been a pretty important figure today for Milan. Couple defensive plays, scores the goal. Dangerous ball in. Rafael Leao with a good header. Clears the ball out. I think the ball is too big for Brahim's small feet. Man, then just pass it. Brahim just needs to pass the ball. That's what he needs to do. Theo Hernandez with a good ball to Brahim Diaz. Brahim Diaz, is he going to release somebody? He does release Rafael Leao. This should be a goal, guys. Theo Hernandez, Rafael Leao. Theo! Leao was available. You got to double it. That was a goal. That was a goal, guys. That was a goal, man. That was a second goal, guys. That was an absolute second goal. It's like multiple times now that these guys have tried to score instead of passing it to the teammate. You can't have that attitude, Theo. Leao is open, completely open. That was the goal we were looking for. Should we pin some Juventus players in the summer? Well, I guess it depends what happens with them, right? I've read some conversations that they're going to have their 15-point penalty probably turned over, but they're probably going to get a new penalty of like 20 points or something for some new breaches. So it doesn't look like they're going to be a competition in the Champions League for us, because right now they would be sitting, I think, in third place. Bravo, Tata. Monza are a good side. I'm not scared to concede. Combine that. Does it mean that the nightmares are over? Well, yeah, the fact that we're not scared to concede anymore is probably a good thing. Petagna does come off, former Milan man. Hey, side note, Andrea Petagna follows me on Twitter for some reason. I don't know why. I wonder if he still does. From the right flank, Monza in attack. Is he going to cross his ball in? He doesn't. Passes it back out. More central ball from Monza. Is he going to intercept it? They just don't seem to have the quality to be able to get through. Sandro Tonali concedes a free kick from a favorable spot for Monza. Not a good thing. Birindelli acting like Ciro in his prime. Ciro with the dives. I know, man. What is Theo doing? Pass Theo. Oh my God, Theo could have done better with that. Yes, if we don't win this match, it won't be Pioli's fault. That's my point too, right? When you have opportunities like this that you've had, when you had opportunities the way you did against the Spurs, you could have at least had, a couple goals more. And even today, same thing. Tatarusano, easy stop. If you have players who are not taking their chances and not capitalizing on the opportunities they're getting, and you have somebody like Theo Hernandez who has all the capacity to be able to make all the runs and passes that he wishes to, doesn't pass it to his teammate, tries to selfishly go for goal himself, and suddenly in the 90th minute Milan concedes a goal, who do you blame? The coach? Or do you blame the guys who didn't make the right decision when they had the chance? I think you have to blame the guys. So, fair point. Carboni is a inter-youth player. Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll have to watch out for that, Uncle Sharma, because we can't have this guy come in and hurt our chances to get back into top four. Should Colombo be starting for us next season after showing his... there's a lot of conversation about Colombo for sure. Who else were people talking about? I think he's at Spal. Which Milan striker is there? But hey, there have been a lot of people who've definitely talked about Colombo and how Milan should consider bringing him back, especially with the striker issues we're having and the limited budget we have. And I think he's left-footed too, so that would be an interesting profile, just like Olivier Giroud. Giroud's left-footed, right? I think. Theo pissed me off right now. I think we are going to pay for this. Don't say that. Don't say that, bro. Definitely don't say. Don't talk about Carboni, anybody. It's still a slim 1-0 lead for Milan. This is not a guaranteed anything, really. I think at some point in time, Pioli has to bring on CDK. That's a dangerous ball. Oh my God, don't do anything. No one take a shot. Figure out somebody with a stop. Brahim Diaz trying to launch a counter. Let's go, Brahim. Let's go. Pass the ball. That's a definite yellow, but just pass to Origi. Brahim. Holy. How many times am I going to yell in the same stream about Brahim Diaz not passing the ball? On anything. Bro, just release the ball so that you can run comfortably too while your teammate is dragging the ball up. He just looks down, Brahim. There's a guy on the right. There's a guy on the left. Leao. That's what they're talking about, is 9 clean sheets for Milan in their final 11 matches. 9 clean sheets in their last 11 matches. That's a foul for sure. I think that was a yellow. I don't know how that was not a yellow for the guy who fouled Brahim Diaz. I think he was already on a yellow. How does he not get a second yellow and a red? That was a clear goal-scoring opportunity, or clear attacking opportunity for Milan. It doesn't get as clear as that. Look at that. That's a yellow, man. You can't possibly say that that's an okay foul. All right, so we do have some switches coming in. Alexis is coming on. I'm happy about that. CDK is coming on. Brahim Diaz goes out. Olivier Giroud is coming on. I assume he will take Origi off. Nothing from Origi again. But CDK, my friend, what do you want me to do for you, man? When I go to India, I can go to like some temples and like pray for you. Just score a goal, bro. Just something, CDK. Like, jeez. AC Mozzarella Pizza. Yes. I mean, their jerseys do say that too. They do look like some tomato sauce. Brahim Torpedo Diaz. That's it. No vision of where he needs to go or what's around him. Let's just take off every time. We have to bring Ante. He's always a second half of the season merchant. He did, yeah. I mean, 2 seasons in a row, his second half goal scoring record was just ridiculous. I think one season it was 11 goals in the second half. So I think right now the hierarchy is pretty set, and I think Rebic will leave this summer. But the hierarchy is Origi, Giroud, and probably CDK and Leao, and then somewhere in there, Ante Rebic. Rade Krunic, CDK, pass the ball. Oh my God, CDK just didn't know what to do with it. He saw the possibility of a counter and the potential that Milan could possibly get a goal there, and he just got completely flustered, CDK there. Just didn't know what to do. Couldn't find a teammate when they were all around him. He's just not feeling confident. CDK, good ball out for Giroud. Olivier Giroud turns around. Nobody there. Everybody's static. Rafael Leao could have made that run to fill in that role that Giroud had emptied out, but Leao also just stays static. That might fall to Rade Krunic. Krunic, good job. Pass the ball out. Theo, that's a penalty. That's not a penalty? How is that not a penalty? What happened there? That looked like a penalty, guys. To me, that looked like a penalty. He did seem to like get ahead of his player, and he did get something happened, but he might have just tangled his own legs, and I'm not denying that. Origi's such a waste of money. Can't believe we passed up on Dybala. All right, hold on. Theo. I don't know. I don't know if that's a penalty. Is it? Yeah, I don't think that's a penalty, really. That's a tough one for me to call that a penalty. Yeah, can't call that one that. Still a tight match. We're sitting here 1-0. The good thing is we got some reinforcements in. The good thing is we got Olivier Giroud back. We got CDK on for Brahim. Hopefully CDK can pass the ball. The problem is that we have Brahim Diaz, who has the capacity to be able to pass the ball. He has the capacity to be able to dribble the ball. The guy just doesn't want to pass. He just wants to dribble. Then we have someone like CDK, who has the capacity to dribble the ball, pass the ball, but just doesn't know how to. He just gets flustered anytime he has possession. It's like one can do it, doesn't want to do it. The other one wants to do it, just doesn't know how to do it. Fikayo Tomori's playing very central. He's even put on skates there, my machine. But Theo Hernandez wins the ball. Rafael Leao, CDK on the counter. CDK, come on. Find a teammate. CDK. It's okay. Don't worry. Just pass the ball. There we go. Alexis, lovely one-touch pass for Rade Krunic. Krunic passes a lovely ball out to Rafael Leao. Incredible touch from Leao. Leao with lovely touch. Something should come out of that. What a shot from Leao. Goes out for a corner kick. Excellent football from Milan. CDK with the pass out to Rade Krunic. CDK gets the ball out to Alexis Salamakers. One-touch pass to Krunic. Krunic with a lovely lob ball to Rafael Leao. Fantastic control. Drives the ball forward. Makes that pass or takes that shot. Just couldn't be accurate and couldn't use a teammate in the middle of the park or in the middle of the box. If he could have, maybe Milan could have had something there. Theo Hernandez steps up there. Ante Rebic is having a conversation with Theo from the side, giving him some tips. Theo Hernandez with the kick to Charles de Ketelaere. De Ketelaere with a header. Had a good header chance, De Ketelaere against Tottenham. Very easy header. That was just needed to be placed right. Probably wouldn't have even had a chance at saving it. Completely bungled it. So De Ketelaere is I feel bad for him, of course. Malik Chow gets a yellow. Is that his first yellow? If Origi gets 4.5 million a season and Giroud way less, then he's a real waste of money. Does Origi get 4.5 million a season? Because that concerns me. If that's the actual salary that he's getting right now, that would be crazy. Tatarujano, thank God he stops that one. All right, so let's see this. Let's switch this one since somebody brought up a question about the salaries, right? Let's take a look at these. So Origi, named Origin here, he one of Milan's highest paid players. You're right. So Origi gets 4. Dest gets 3.8. Jeez. What decision was this from Milan? Bring Dest in. Giroud gets 3.5. Origi gets 4. So fairly close, I guess. Net, at least, we're talking about. We're not talking about gross, because that's what Milan's actually paying. Oh, Lord. Look at that. Bakayoko, 4.63 gross. He's netting about 2.5 mil. Amazing. Amazing numbers for Milan. Vronks also getting paid pretty nicely for a guy who's sitting on the bench mostly. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Look at where Leao sits. This is why my guy wants to leave. Obviously, it's an older contract. I know, I'm just joking, but this is not appropriate. Leao cannot be sitting there, obviously, and he's not going to sit there for very long. Alexis from the right flank passes it to Malik Chow or Krunic. Krunic gives out the ball. This is going to be a counterattack from Monza. This can be dangerous. I promise you this can be dangerous. Oh my goodness. Fikayo Tomori with a lovely sliding tackle on that one. Wins a corner kick for Monza does get a corner kick. They take it short, take it quick. Decent ball in. CDK with the clearance. Rafael Leao fouled. Not fouled? No, not fouled. Shoulder to shoulder. Churia, that's a foul from CDK on Churia for sure. Milan's not going to be happy about this one, but they have to be very careful to not get a yellow here. No need to get a yellow right now. Monza does take... Marlon, pretty old guy. Origi's making too much money. Yes, he is. He's Milan's highest paid player, apparently. So, great sequence of passes to set up a Leao chance. Yeah, great passing from Krunic. Everybody, really, made the right calls. This is getting... Oh, right. He is getting 50% from Barca. So that's why Milan brought him on. I hope. Don't say anything. Tatarusanu. Shot from distance. Clear it. Leao. Teo lost the ball. Dangerous ball in. Churia from distance. Oh! Oh my goodness. This is when you know maybe luck is on your side. Oh my goodness. Churia with a shot from outside the box. Hits the goalpost. Hits Tatarushanu's back and somehow springs out. That goes out for a corner kick. Dangerous from outside the... Oh my God. Milan, put a lid on this. Calm him down. Slow this game. Leao, clear the ball. Goes out for another corner kick. It's helter-skelter in Milan's box. 72 minutes in. Milan up 1-0. My commentary is also going to be a little bit helter-skelter now. Reflecting on how Milan's playing. But Monza's looking good right now. Sensi with the corner kick. They're making a claim for a handball there. VR is obviously going to be taking a look at this. Machine. Sensi, another new signing from Adriano Galliani. Oh, lovely work, Krunic. Milan don't need to sit back this much. We just don't. We have the quality to be able to attack them. We don't need to sit back that much. Take a chance, boys. This comment right here scared me to think that we actually scored a goal. I mean, they scored a goal. And it did result into this for me. We look so good in our defense compared to January. Yes, we do look a little bit more comfortable. No question about that. But with all due respect to Monza, we are also playing a side that is sitting in 10th place. If you're playing a side like, since Uncle Sharma has been here for a bit, if we're playing a side like Inter, I mean, we saw what happened. So it has to be something that translates into our performance against big teams. And we also played well against the Spurs, to be fair, in our back line. So, yeah, that's definitely giving you a little bit of confidence for sure. I spoke too soon. No. I think we're about 50% agreeing. We need to score a second goal. This Monza isn't giving up. No, if this is a reflection on how the last 20 minutes are going to be, that's very dangerous. Now, don't forget, Rafael Leao hit the goal post and later Milan scored. Now, from the looks of it, their attacker has scored, hit the goal post. CDK gets the ball back. Good ball out to Olivier Giroud. Giroud makes a pass out to Rafael Leao. Rafael Leao controls this ball. Is he going to be able to protect it? No. Yes. No. Rafael Leao, get up. That's not a foul? I thought that's a foul for sure. Jeez, I actually like this referee. He's letting the game kind of flow. I like it, but it's hard to like it that much when it's not in your favor. I thought that was a foul on Leao at least. "75 minutes in. We got probably 20 minutes of playtime still left. I don't think we're going to bring Ibrahimovic on. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think Milan has any reason to rush him or really any reason to play him if we're 1-0. Someone is coming on. It looks like Ante Rebic. Yeah, I think Rebic is coming on now. Sensi on the right flank. Nice work. Who was that? Krunic. Good hustle. Krunic passed the ball out to Theo. Goes out to Sandro Tonali. Tonali. Pass it to Leao. CDK. Get in position to take a shot, my friend. He has no confidence. Krunic. What happened? Why are you slowing the game down? Or doing whatever you're doing? Theo Hernandez. Sandro Tonali. Tonali with the cross in for Olivier Giroud. That could have been... Actually wasn't a bad idea if it had actually gone to Giroud. I'm in my early 20s and already having some white hair. I need to skip some Milan last 20-minute games or I will die young. My friend, if only I could tell you, I started graying when I was 16, I think. I always look older to people than I actually am because I grade so fast. I'm old though, but look older. Those grays came in like quick time. Nice work, Alexis. Lovely work on the right flank. See, since Alexis has come on, there's a little bit more zip on that right. Look at that. 360 from Alexis. Then loses the ball and Monza launching a counter attack. Alexis now running for the ball. Good hustle from Alexis. Kalulu makes a dive for no reason. That's a dangerous cross in. Clear it. Okay. Rade Krunic clears it out for a corner kick. Dangerous, guys. This is getting dangerous. Yeah, for sure. Milan's going to do that too. We're not clinical. That's my problem with this team. Score a second goal. Is that too hard to ask? Yeah, apparently it is with Milan. It is very hard to ask. Saw what happened against Tottenham, right? Milan takes their time to score their second goals, if they even score them. Monza with the dangerous ball in. Corner kick. Malik Chow with the clearance. Machine. Milan look a little bit, I don't want to say confused, but there's a hole there. Don't get the ball off of him. Let's go, Alexis. Good work. Alexis with a good block there. Much needed. Ante Rebic is coming on for Leao. Wow. All right. Stefano Pioli making those moves that Leao's not going to be very happy with. Oh, Leao's not going to be happy about this one. I think he wants to help out his team till the end of the match. Ooh, Leao is taking his time. He's having a bit of a conversation with the fourth official there. Leao's not very happy with that conversation with the ref. He's letting him know, I'm coming. Don't tell me to rush. Sounds weird, but okay. Monza with the corner kick. Most coaches will not make a switch like that in the middle of a corner kick. You want to take care of the corner kick, then make that switch. Because a lot of the times it kind of moves your defensive positioning out of whack, and especially being Leao, who's a very tall player. You need that presence, and you're replacing it with someone like Ante Rebic, who's not even remotely as tall. So, interesting move from Stefano Pioli to make that change in the middle of a corner kick. We're approaching the 80th minute mark. Milan's still up 1-0. Is this possibly going to be a third consecutive 1-0 win for Milan? Is this going to be a third consecutive single goal match for Milan? Or fourth consecutive 1-goal appearance for Milan after that Inter 1-0 win? Don't let him turn. Olivier Giroud goes back to Monza. This is getting dangerous. Monza is playing very well. They're looking like a team that just wants to break us down and get that equalizer. And right now, if you're a betting man, it's not unreasonable to say that they might actually get through. Just because they're relentless. This is going to be a minute-by-minute game now. We just can't get the ball. And anytime we do get the ball, they're pressing us and just displacing us. And with the midfield that we have right now with Krunic and Tonali can't pass for the life of him. And Krunic is, Yeah, he has a certain skill set. They're really being able to boss around our midfield and just get the ball from us. Every time we win the ball, something happens. Just can't. No. That's the thing. We need unforced errors from Monza to be able to get the ball back. As a team, as a unit, we're not being able to get the ball back. We just have to rely on them to make a mistake. And obviously that's going to impact their confidence going into the last 10 minutes, but Milan needs to stay together and hold on to this. Pablo Mari, former Arsenal man. Tata Rushanu putting his troops forward, asking them to move up, which is interesting because he's going to kick this ball and our Monza is going to collect it and come back for another attack. If you start build up play from the back, then at least you know you hold on to possession and do something slowly. But he just crosses the ball out. Olivier Giroud does get his head on it, and it just drops to Monza, and they just start building an attack again. This is what I kind of mean. Is Ante Rebic going to win the ball, though? No, he doesn't. Monza with the throw-in. Does look like there's going to be a substitution made. Who's coming on? Bakayoko. Milanisti. Wow. I think Pioli realizes, well, there's no point in keeping this guy on the bench since he's going to eat up all the funds and not do anything. He is taking Krunic off. He is bringing Bakayoko on. Milan did try to move this guy multiple times. I think this is his first appearance this entire season for Bakayoko. Our man who partnered really well alongside Franchesi a couple seasons ago under Gennaro Gattuso comes back to Milan, wins the Serie A title, but is not wanted. But he wouldn't leave. And now Pioli is trying to build some trust in Bakayoko. You know what that tells me? I wonder what's happening with Benacer to some degree. That makes me question Benacer's recovery to some degree. It's like, why are you playing Bakayoko? I mean, I understand you need to switch things up, and Krunic and Tonali both have played a few games in a row now and have played all 90 minutes, so obviously they're going to be tired. But I'm like, is Benacer okay though? Or are we just getting Bakayoko warmed up to start playing alongside Tonali now? Lovely work from Kalulu. Does not allow them to cross the ball. Takes the ball off of him. Kalulu's defensive responsibilities are he's doing what we need him to do, Kalulu. Absolutely. I'm 21. I ain't got a single white hair in sight. That's good, man. Enjoy the black. I mean, I like the grays too. They do make you look a little bit dangerous. Clear it. Malik Chow. Good work. Theo Hernandez. Ante Rebic. Nice back heel. Theo Hernandez takes a run. Goes on a run. 85th minute. No one in real support, though, for Theo. He's just going to have to drag this out to the corner flag. Takes the ball in. Tonali! CDK! Score! Oh my goodness, this guy can't score for the life of him. How did CDK not score? Oh my God, how did CDK not score this if there's no foul there? Bro. All right, Theo makes that pass. Was everything good here, or was there any foul here? CDK to Giroud. Tonali gets the ball from Alexis. Oh my goodness, CDK. Wow. Wow. You cannot be complaining in that part. Oh my goodness, CDK. Oh my goodness, another bad Leao game. Now, I wouldn't say it was bad, but definitely not Leao standards for sure. Leao has been figured out. He's done nothing that warrants the $7 million he's asking for. Definitely not over the last 10 games for sure. Normally, I'd agree with you, but Leao is a liability off the ball. He doesn't defend at all. Not as much. CDK, is he going to pass the ball out? Is he going to make a run himself? CDK, oh, he wanted to prove himself. He wanted to prove himself there, CDK. He needs to understand that he's playing in a team. Just stay alive, man. When it's an opportunity for you, it'll fall for you. He forced it this time, tried to dribble past multiple guys, just wasn't able to do it. He should have just used Ante Rebic on the left flank, possibly dragged some defenders out to Ante, and then being able to maybe score a goal. But CDK wanted to do it himself. You know why? He just wants to prove. He's like, I'm good. I'm good. I'm not this bad. I can score goals. Poor guy tried to make that run. Didn't work. As long as it doesn't come back to bite us and we pick a win up today, it is what it is. I mean, it's heartbreaking to watch this guy not being able to score a goal. Malik Chow with the clearance, puts it out for a corner kick, guys. Oh Lord, help my blood pressure, help everything, help all the viewers, help our hearts, because this is going out for a corner kick. Oh, we definitely had a second goal there. That's cleared out by Deketlar. Monza with actually a really good quality ball line. Oh, Pablo Marin. My goodness, CDK again clears it. Pablo Marin attacking, CDK defending. It's a reversal of roles there for the defender and the attacker. Here we go. Carboni. Blocked by Alexis Salamakers. Goes out for a throw-in, but Monza is just relentlessly attacking Milan, and whenever we've had a chance... Oh my goodness, what kind of throw-in was that? I've never seen that. Oh, a decade and a half of watching football, I've never seen a throw-in like that. That's something interesting. Milan does get the throw-in because that was a foul throw. Alexis with a throw-in. Leao has not really been figured out. The problem is our attack is almost always coming from the left side, so teams only need to focus on the left a little bit more. I think he's also not in the kind of confidence and, comfort level that he was in compared to how he's feeling now. I mean, I haven't really seen Bakayoko play. Now that I think about it, where's Bakayoko? Oh, he's right there. Oh, that's a great ball in. Nice work from Malik Chow. Good work. Yeah, that's not a corner kick. No way. I've liked that Serie A has increased the number of substitutions from 3 to 5. Yes, that was a big change. I mean, some people think it should be even more. Gives team multiple options to work with. It should be that way. I mean, what's the limitation of 3 midfielders? 3 substitutions never really made sense. Bakayoko is coming in. He's alive. Yes. WTF, Bakayoko is coming on. Yes. Can't believe what I'm seeing. Exactly. If we lose this game, it will be Pioli's fault. I changed my mind. Bakayoko. Bakayoko tries to win the ball there. This should go out. No way. Yeah, that's out. Vronx. Oh, my friend. Ranch Panda wants Vronx in. CDK, no. Yes. I know. I'm waiting to see all the CDK response here. CDK almost. I can't believe this. This guy can't score if his life depends on it. CDK has number 9 on his jersey. CDK is cursed. CDK is cursed. CDK is cursed. CDK is cursed. CDK WTF. CDK will get his goal soon. Oh, someone putting a little... Anthony's putting a little positive spin on this. We'll get his goal soon. Don't give up on him, guys. Yes, we're not giving up, but he might have given up on scoring goals. My God, I can't believe that he missed that one. 5 minutes added on, so this is not going to be any easier for the next 5 minutes. 5 minutes at a time. I should really cash out my bet here because I should be getting a good cash out now. Give me a cash out. Yeah. Hey, I doubled my money. I'll take it. I don't know what's going to happen in the last 5 minutes. I'm nervous. And I did make a decent sized bet, so it's nice to just get some cash back. Monza from the right flank. Dangerous ball in. Is that a Caprari? Bakayoko, good work. Use your teammate, Bakayoko. He's right behind you. Make a back heel pass to Kalulu. He's right behind you, Bakayoko. That's a goal. Nice work, Timo. Nice work. I feel sorry watching CDK. I don't understand what happened to him. I don't know, man. I never really watched him play before Milan, so I don't know. I hope he was better before. Teo's 150th appearance. Oh, nice. All right. Well, hopefully 150 more to come. CDK just need a one goal for his confidence. Yeah, that's really what it is. He just needs that goal for confidence. No question about that, but he's not getting it. That's why we're constantly losing confidence in him, but obviously we're going to support the guy. He's still wearing a Milan shirt. Teo Hernandez loses the ball there. That's not a good place to lose the ball, Teo. Especially not in the 92nd minute. Fikayo Tomori stays on him, but didn't manage to fully stay on him. Looks like nice work from Sandro Tonali. Good block. Timo Bakayoko with the absolute hoiked clearance. What happened there? Why did Giroud just take a dive? Oh, he slipped. No, oh, careful. Kalulu, careful. Stay on him, guys. 3 minutes to go, guys. Dangerous cross in! Oh my God, Itzo, what a ridiculously stupid shot there. You had so much time. You could have controlled the ball and taken a shot, and that was a certain equalizer. And why didn't Tatarusanu come out for that? Tata should have come out for that first ball anyways. At least from what I could see. Maybe I'm wrong. 2.5 minutes to go. Oh, Lord, this is not going to be any easier. No easy matches, guys. No easy matches for us. Since the new year, not one easy match. Just the one match against Salernitana, which I didn't watch. CDK with the ball out for Ante Rebic. No, didn't fall. It's not a single easy match. Not against Inter, not against Lazio, not Sassuolo, not Roma, not Torino, not Spurs. Not today. This is our life. I want the red mark that is on all the Milan players' cheeks. That red mark's it's like tears. Red tears. We all have those. Shot from distance. Churia. Trying to be the hero. Shouldn't have made that pass. Machine. A minute and a half to go. I have to hide everybody's comments and everything because I don't want to see what's going on the field. So for the next 1 minute and 15 seconds, I'm just going to watch the game, not really see what your comments are because I can't right now. Bakayoko. Oh my God. What pass was that for CDK? That was not needed at all, guys. Nice work from Kalulu or Fikayo Tomori. Fantastic. Get out of his way, CDK. Fikayo. Ah! Milan lose possession again. Malik Chow. A lot of Milan defenders caught out of position. Malik Chow's out of position. Fikayo Tomori's out of position. Alexis Salamakers blocks that cross in. Tatarusanu comes out and grabs it. That's what we need. Which is nothing. I mean, this was absolutely hopeless play. But what we need is 3 points. Let's just get this done, guys. Let's just get it over the finish line. Get the 3 points. That's it. CDK. Pass the ball out to Olivier Giroud. Giroud. Pass it out to CDK. CDK. Cross the ball into Ante. Oh, he's going to head for the corner flag. Good. Smart work. Smart to get that. Smart work. Loses possession. Did that go out for a throw in? Ante Rebic. Full time. All right. A little bit of a anticlimax, I guess. Weren't able to get a second goal, Milan. But got the job done. Another win. A third win in a row for the Rossoneri. Milan wins this 1-0. A win that was... Oh my goodness. What do I even say about this? A desperately needed win for the Rossoneri. After a 1-0 win against the Spurs. 1-0 win against against Torino. 1-0 loss to Inter. This February month has been a 1-goal thriller for the Rossoneri. But we do get our third win in a row. Third win in a row after a tumultuous January. Pick up another 3 points, Milan, today. Oh, man. Let me just catch my breath. Let me just take a sip of water for a sec. Oh, jeez, Milan. Never an easy game, mate. Never an easy game. All right, let's jump here right to the lineups. Let's see what kind of game these guys played today. Let's see what the reviewers say about Milan's performance. Are they going to give him some ridiculous stats where Rafael Leao was the man of the match last time around? All right, we can see who these guys think is the man of the match. We'll kind of discuss that. Milan fans running to this. Milan players running to the fans. Man, I just want to see CDK's face right now. I don't know who that is who's congratulating Junior Messias. Is he from Monza or is he a Milan player? All right, guys. Crucial win for Milan. So let's go through the lineup here. Let's see Cyprian Tatarusano's performance. Another good performance from Milan. He's had an excellent February. I would say actually very good February. I'm not going to fault him today. I'm going to say Tatarusano's had a very good February month. Just because of his performance against Inter, he got the job done. His performance against Torino got the job done. Was significantly more tested against Inter. He didn't get the job done, but his performance overall wasn't too bad. So he's had a good February month. One after the other. Milan is on a 3 clean sheet row now. In a row, and that is a testament to how he's been playing. And if you really think about it, obviously a lot of changes have come in. So if we start to look at our back line now, Fikayo Tomori returns from injury. A good return for Fikayo. Now, fortunately, it was a return against a Monza side, which is, no matter what anybody says, they're a good team. They've been playing relatively well, middle table team, but at the same time, they just made it into the Serie A, just made it back into the league for the first time in their history. So we know the quality of the club is only going to improve over time. So it probably was a decent return for Fikayo Tomori to make against a smaller team. Put in a decent performance. I don't think he was too bad. I think he was actually almost like more solidified our backline. Gave us more belief that, okay, with Fikayo, with Malik Chow, and with Pierre Kalulu, Milan does have something in their backline. Now we just got to wait for Mike Maignan to make a comeback. Monza did manage to hold on to more possession, about 59% for them, 41% for Milan. So they were definitely one of those, old school Milan sides, really, who dominate at home, hold on to possession, but sometimes don't get the right result. This is kind of prototypical of how Berlusconi and Adriano Galliani's side was in the latter stages of their ownership in the last maybe 5-7 years. That's kind of what Milan became, a lot of the times holding possession, dominating play, but not really getting the job done. So that's what Monza did today. Now, if we look at Malik Chow's performance, another solid performance from the guy. I mean, the guy's been a revelation. As I mentioned earlier in the stream, 2 seasons ago, it was Fikayo Tomori who was a revelation, came on loan from Chelsea. Last season, it was Pierre Kalulu who was a revelation. And this season, it's Malik Chow who's a revelation. And if you look at that and you put it together, those 3 players are now our 3 center backs. And it looks like for the foreseeable future, as long as fitness allows, they probably will stay our 3 center backs for the foreseeable future. It does look like, so this is something that I noticed. This is just a side point. When I went to watch Milan play Bologna, after the end of the game, Simon Kjaer, Brahim Diaz, 2 or 3 players, after the match was over, they ran the entire length of the field, over and over again. I think they just have to get their reps in for their cardiovascular systems to actually operate a certain way. So right now, there are a bunch of Milan players on the field. You'll see, if you still have access to the screen, they're just running back and forth, constantly running back and forth on the field because they need to get those reps in for their cardiac systems. So going back to the back line, looks good right now. The three center backs. This looks like our triple backing, and this also seems like the formation Milan's going to stick with. January was a tough month. Pioli, even really Maldini and ownership, everybody was very resistant to making any changes. Pioli on the field in his formations, and Maldini and ownership off the field in other areas. They weren't very open to making any new signings, and the ownership wasn't really open to making any new signings. So what we can really see from that is that eventually Pioli adapted. He's adapted to this new system that we haven't really seen Milan play almost ever. I think maybe Vincenzo Montella or Gattuso, one of those guys tried this, but Milan mostly has been playing with the 4-2-3-1. So seeing this formation come in and kind of seems to be working. 3 matches in a row, 3 clean sheets, 3 1-0 wins. So it is a somewhat defensive formation, and that also kind of shows in our scoreline, winning 3 matches in a row, 1-0. You also have, what was my point? 3 matches in a row, 1-0. Yes, the month of February, Milan's only conceded 1 goal. So the 1 goal that we did concede to Inter, 4 matches, 1 goal conceded, 3 clean sheets. That's exactly the kind of form you need if you want to solidify top 4 finish, which I'm actually going to jump to that screen and see where exactly we're going to be sitting right now in terms of the standings. Now, obviously, other teams are going to have games in hand, but this is kind of what Milan was hoping to do. This is what Milan needs to do. If we look at this right now, let me zoom in there a little bit for you guys. There we go. I mean, this is what we need. We're sitting there in 3rd place. Have to solidify that 2nd place spot. Really, Milan should be fighting Inter for that decent run of form now. After going 3 losses in a row, we have 2 wins in a row. Leveled on 44 points with Inter. With Inter, Atalanta still has a match to play. Roma still has a match to play. So those are the 2 teams that can still potentially, I don't know what the head-to-head is. I'm not going to get into that. But 2 teams that can still get ahead of us, and Inter can extend their lead on us. Now let's see who these teams are playing. Inter, Atalanta, and Roma. Inter plays Udinese at home. That should be a match that they should be able to get the right result from. We'll find out. Atalanta plays Lecce at home, so another favorable match for Atalanta as well. And Roma plays Verona at home. So again, 3 favorable matches for these sides. Verona is relegation threatened, so Roma should pick up the points. Atalanta playing Lecce, 13th place side, also should pick up the points. And Inter playing Udinese, probably the trickier of the 3 matches. But the reality is that Milan had to play away from home, and we got the job done. Playing away from home sometimes can be a very tricky situation, and we got a slim 1-0 lead and didn't concede a goal. Milan has to be pretty happy about that. Winning 1-0 away from home against a side that kept attacking us is almost like winning 2-0 at home, because that clean sheet means that extra bit away from home. The midfield, Junior Messias, the criticized man, the man when the game started, I looked at this lineup and I said, the only piece that I don't like in this equation, the only piece according to me, well, I had 2 pieces really, Diaz for CDK, and the only other piece that I was questioning was Messias, and I felt like it should have been Alexis or possibly Florenzi, or if Calabria was fit. How wrong can we be sometimes? Junior Messias is a goal scorer, is a game winner for Milan. Arguably, you have to now consider him the man of the match. You remember last season, Ismail Benacer scored that goal against Empoli around this time? That goal from outside the box, I think. Had that kind of vibe to the goal. Milan in desperate situation, needs a win. Messias turns around with his back to goal, turns around and kicks it with his left foot with a lot of power. The goalkeeper gets his hand on it, cannot stop it. So Junior Messias, for me, has to be the man of the match. He's the winner for us. So just like last match against Spurs, Brahim Diaz were the man of the match for me because he got us the win. And here it's Junior Messias who's done the job. So that's a big one for Messias. Krunic, as usual, the role player fulfilling the responsibility of offering his team stability. I've repeated this point, and I just have to keep repeating it. I'm just watching Arsenal, Jorginho score a ridiculous goal from outside the box. Fantastic goal from Jorginho against Aston Villa. Gives Arsenal the lead 3-2. But Krunic did the job that he was hired to do. Be a role player that can fill in spots when the team is not fit, and he got that done. He's gotten that done 3 matches in a row now, so I do want a little bit more respect put on Krunic's name from people watching, for sure, because this is how you win. This title is going to be a hard one to win this time, but this is how you get things done. I'm just watching the highlights of the Arsenal Aston Villa game here too. Sandro Tonali. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. How do you feel about Tonali's performance? Because I have been critical of Sandro for 2 or 3 matches in a row. Almost every single match I've seen in the comment section, somebody's disagreeing with my take on Sandro. Not very happy. I think Tonali was better today than the last couple matches that I've seen. Maybe against Spurs he was still okay, but not what you want him to be. So I would say, for me, Tonali's performance today was better than before, but still not the level of Sandro that we need, because there is with Krunic and Tonali in the middle of the park, we have no creativity if we don't have Benacer. And Tonali's job is that 50-50 role. He can do both. He can be that defensive guy and he can be that creative guy. We need a little bit more creativity from Sandro that we're not getting right now. But cannot wait for Ismail Benacer to make his comeback, because that's going to help the team big time. On the left flank, as usual, we had our captain, Theo Hernandez. I think Theo would have to be criticized a little bit today just because of that opportunity that he had to be able to score that goal. And he didn't score that goal, or pass the ball to Rafael Leao, actually, not really score the goal. He went for goal when he should have gone for the pass for Leao, and that would have doubled our lead, given Leao a goal, and probably elevated his confidence as well. But Theo was a little selfish there. But overall, a decent performance from Theo. I think defensively, I'm trying to remember how he was defensively. I don't think he was as involved defensively, because with the three-man backline, his responsibility does change a little bit. I think more Fikayo Tomori was acting on that left flank than Theo was. Obviously, he helped out, but I think there's a little bit less defensive pressure on Theo Hernandez when he's playing that role. Up front, we had Brahim Diaz, a questioned player. I felt like after his winner against Spurs, maybe Milan could have rested him and played CDK instead. I don't think he was really involved in that Messias goal. I think Giroud was involved in that goal, or Origi, one of those guys was involved in that goal. So for me, I would say Brahim Diaz had probably not a very good match. He could have backed up his performance. The thing about Brahim is, as I repeat so many times in the stream, is the guy just doesn't use his teammates. I don't get it. I actually really don't get it. What's the deal with Brahim? I don't know why he doesn't use his teammates. There's so many times that there's a guy on the left and the guy on the right and a guy in a much better position, and he just wants to drive, right? Somebody in the comments even said like a torpedo, right? He's just like almost like mindless, brainless, no eyes, just like, let's just keep running like a freak maniac forward, like movement. And I don't know why Brahim keeps doing that, and clearly he got a lower rating for that too. Rafael Leao's performance today for me wasn't too bad. I think in some ways I felt like some of his availability and some of his decision making and shots that he took was slightly better than what he did against the Spurs. Some people might disagree, but to me he was slightly better than the way he played against Spurs, because against Spurs he was limited to the first 15 minutes. I think after that he was pretty wasteful. In this match, I think he was available to the team for a much larger of the cause. The only thing is he didn't get that shot from Theo, which would have converted into almost a certain goal. He hit the goalpost once, and he also had another shot from outside the box that was, I think, saved by the goalkeeper. So Leao was pretty good to me today. It's just, again, same criticism as Brahim Diaz. Sometimes just not using his teammates. That's really it. And obviously, teams have adapted to his style of play. He's a left winger. He likes to drive the ball, penetrate through, get past the players with his ability to dribble the ball so well. And I guess sometimes teams just start to read that. They understand. They back off a little bit more. They don't stay on him. They give themselves a little bit of room to be able to mitigate that. As soon as he starts to drive, they just kind of stop him in his tracks. And a lot of the times also double team him. So it's going to be interesting to see how Leao kind of adapts to this, because now he's gone 7 games without scoring a single goal, and he's obviously going to it's going to impact his confidence. And the coach did take him off for Ante Rebic. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see how Leao bounces back, because I'll say this one comment at the end. Origi, another performer who just... I got nothing to say. I think he may have actually assisted. No, he did not. Who assisted the goal for Messias? I'm just trying to see here. So it doesn't look like there was an assist given to Messias. It was just a ball that fell to him. But I thought Origi may have given that ball. But yeah, Origi's performance, guys, just... What do I say? I got nothing good to say. I might as well shut up. Right? Like, this is not what you were hired for, my friend. You're brought in here for a lot more than what you offered. Now look at this. Look at this green here, right? That means something to me. You know I'm an Alexis fanboy. I am, because I like his grit. I like his hustle. And he's always been this way, and I've always repeated the same comment about him. I now understand that he has a ceiling. I now understand, or I don't want to say he has a ceiling. I now understand that, at least for now, he's not going to be much better than what he is right now. I always believe that if Alexis can make the transition that Leao made to become a star, I feel like Alexis also has the qualities to be able to do that. Now I can tell that he's going to be a for the lack of a better word, he's going to be like a tier 2 player or a tier 3 player. Like if Leao is in tier 1, Alexis is going to be in tier 2. And you know, players like Haaland and Mbappe are even higher than that. But if you know what my tier system is, which doesn't make a lot of sense right now. But Alexis is one lower level. But his grit, his hustle, his tackling, his passing, just can't finish for the life of him. But he does make life very difficult for the opposition players, especially defensively. Even today, at the end, I think Tatarusanu made a save that was, a cross was going in. Alexis gets his head in. Tatarusanu collects the ball. He stops these attacks. And for me, Alexis, I have to give him all the compliments that he deserves. Olivier Giroud, not really involved. Ante Rebic, again, not really that involved. Which brings us to our final man, Charles de Ketelaere. I just don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. I feel terrible for him. He's obviously trying. He's obviously has no confidence. He seems to be trying a little bit too hard in a way too. As soon as he missed that chance, for him to go after that Spurs match where he should have scored that goal. We all saw in the video what Rafael Leao said to him, like what Leao said to CDK. All of us have seen his response to CDK about, hey, don't worry, brother, it's coming. And obviously that's a good thing. If you guys haven't seen that, I am going to pull it up here. Right. So this is where he was just saying to him, after he made that miss against Spurs, at least that's what the lip readers are saying, that he just said to CDK, it's coming, bro. And that's the kind of obvious support that a teammate should be offering to a player. And bro, it was coming today. You had it. I don't know if CDK could have had any better opportunity to be able to score a goal than what he got today. Because I am going to, make a little run through Twitter, and obviously there's probably going to be a screenshot somewhere in there, someone getting super annoyed about how he missed that chance. But I don't know. What do you guys think? At this point in time, we're multiple games in. My whole pledge with the Milan fan base before Milan signed CDK was exactly this. Like, hey, we have a responsibility to support this guy, because it's not going to be easy to make a transition from Jupiler Belgian League to becoming the Serie A, assimilating in terms of language, culture, style of play, just the microscope that is placed over you when you become a player of that wears the AC Milan shirt. He's struggling for the lack of any. I mean, it's the understatement of the time is the fact that he's struggling. He's really struggling, and today was his real chance to be able to get that. And I'm actually trying to find a picture of his miss, but I can't place it right now. Yeah, so Charles de Ketelaere is one of those players. After making that miss, he then tries to launch a counter. He tried to dribble he saw that there was an availability of Ante Rebic on the left flank. That was clear for him to see. But he said, no, I am going to drive the ball in. I am going to get the ball past these two defenders. I'm going to be on a clear goal scoring opportunity, and I'm going to score a goal because, God damn it, I'm going to prove to these guys I can score a goal. And he didn't. And then he gave up the ball. So he's obviously not feeling any confidence in terms of being able to score goals. He's not feeling any confidence in being able to dribble the ball past players. He's just straight up struggle city right now. And I'm going to jump to your guys' comments to see how you are feeling about this. I'm going to probably try and start moving backwards a little bit because I do see there's a bunch of comments here. How was the game for Milan? Unfortunately missed the match. Well, we won, so that's mostly what matters. Third 1-0 in a row reminds me of last season. That was Virag, by the way. Thank you for commenting, my friend. Third 1-0 in a row reminds me of last season after we beat Inter. We also had many 1-0 games there. Exactly, right? So Milan had 11 clean sheets in their last 9 clean sheets in their last 11 matches. That's what really turned our season around. Is the same possibility there? I mean, we have Inter, Atalanta, and Roma. We need one of these 3 teams to drop points today and tomorrow. Is it possible? It's a tough one because they all have home games and they all have them against teams that are not the strongest. Inter is playing with Udinese, who are a 9th place team, but the others are playing teams that are like almost relegation threatened. So, and one is, I think Verona is relegation threatened. So we need teams to drop points to be able to do anything. And here's how clearly we feel like Napoli's going to win the title, or at least from the looks of it, I feel like Napoli's going to win the title. I don't even check to see who Napoli's playing because I'm like, well, they're going to win anyways. So this time around, it does look like it's Napoli's year for sure. If Chow was Chinese, he would be greatest wall of China. Wow. All right. Absolutely. I agree with that. Oh my God. Ibra present needed. Yeah, not going to come yet. I don't think Pioli's going to risk him like this. I think Pioli's going to bring him on if the game is 3-0 and we're winning. Or he's going to bring him on if the game is 1-1 and we absolutely need a win and we got like 4 minutes left. I think those are the only 2 cases I can see Ibra playing. I don't think we're going to play him in a tight 1-0 where we need pace and reliability in defense. It's just too much to put like strain on him. You want him to be there in a easy win where he can just get the feel of the game, or in a completely desperate situation where we absolutely need a win and you need that X factor of Ibrahimovic. Game over. Yes. Another 3 points. Starting to lose patience with CDK. I can feel that emotion because I think a lot of us are. I think it's one of those things, right? So here's what happens. The match unfolds. During the match, CDK messes up. He doesn't score the goal that we need him to score. The match ends. We get frustrated. The next match starts. We become hopeful again. Like, oh, maybe CDK today. Today, CDK is going to score a goal. God damn it. I promise you. He's going to score a goal. And then the match happens and he doesn't score and we get pissed off again and we say we are losing confidence. The next match, we start the cycle again. That's what being a Milan fan is, really, right? Even when you're going through a bad phase, losing 3-0, then 4-2, then 5-something, we just look at it and say, hey, we'll win the next match. Win is a win. Hey, 3 points, that's all that I care about. We need top 4. Do you want to lose Rafael Leao? If you don't want to lose Rafael Leao, support your team to make top 4. Don't worry about the rest. So win is a win. Absolutely. Forza Milan, Forza Milan. Happy with the W, as you should be, my friend. Andiamo Milan, vamos caramba. Exactly. We needed that one for sure. The reason why CDK hasn't scored is that all the chances were easy goals. So you think he's waiting for a very tough bicycle kick kind of goal, to make it his first one. Make it special. I actually remember Klaas-Jan Huntelaar. I don't know if you guys remember this. I don't know how many of you guys have go that far back with Milan. But Klaas-Jan Huntelaar, after the departure of Kaká, he was a replacement for Kaká. I mean, he was not very good at Milan. He was great at Schalke, scored a ridiculous amount of goals. But Klaas-Jan Huntelaar had a similar thing, just not scoring any goals. Suddenly comes up in the 90th minute. He pulls in. Clarence Seedorf makes a pass against Catania. If there's any match highlights to watch where a player you're just and he kind of looks like CDK too. If there's any match that you're just like praying for a player to score a goal for you because he's not scoring a goal, it's that match. Milan versus Catania, 2-0. Klaas-Jan Huntelaar scores 2 goals in injury time to make his first and second goal for Milan. So, hey, maybe CDK is waiting for something as dramatic as that, for all we know. Anyone that wishes CDK to start over Diaz is an Inter fan. Depends on the match, my friend. Today, I would have been happy if CDK started over Diaz. Today, I would have been happy. But next match, I'll have to see. So I'll say it depends on the game. Lavelle. Priya Darcy Basu. Man, it looked like somebody did black magic on CDK. Bro, for real. Didn't someone do black magic on someone? Who was trying to do black magic? I think it was Lukaku or even Pogba. Interesting. Virag Doshi. How was the game for Milan? Unfortunately, missed. Oh, you're asking again. Okay. How was the game for Milan? I hope you saw my rundown after the game was over. But pretty much what happened is that we scraped through another win. We scraped through. Monza attacked. We're feeling very comfortable and confident in our defensive line once again, especially with the 3 guys in the back. And our goalkeeper is playing well too. So we got 3 points. Now we're tied in points with Inter. We want Inter to drop points today against Udinese. It's going to be a tough one to ask, but it would be good to see Milan climb back up to second place, really. But obviously Roma and Atalanta are still there too. Kalulu, man of the match, changed my mind. Hey, Kalulu is always, when I make my 4 takeaways from matches, Kalulu is always getting green boxes or shout outs from me because that guy is, I think I could actually make an argument. He might be the greatest purchase I've seen Milan make ever since I've been watching this team. The greatest purchase that Milan has ever made when it comes to expectation versus outcome. Expectation versus outcome. You guys can put in the comments if you think there's somebody else that was absolutely, we had no expectation from and just turned out to be a star. I'm sure there have been those players too. But since I've been watching this team, I'm pretty familiar with all the transfer moves that we made. I have never seen a 450,000 euro signing who's supposed to be a backup right back that becomes a star center back for this team in an Italian league that is, known to be a very good defensive quality league. So for me, Kalulu might be one of the greatest purchases. Expectation versus outcome. Again, not greatest purchase like Kaká and stuff. Expectation versus outcome. Monza turns into prime Barcelona in the last 25 minutes. Yep, they made it very difficult. Monza-Lona, for sure. Men of the match, Malik, Kalulu, and Fikayo can't figure out. The defensive line, let's just give it to all of them. Even Tatarushanu was forced into making some saves, was forced into being confident and comfortable in the back, and he was, once again. CDK needs a goal ASAP. My friend Walter White, why don't you just work some of that blue powder magic and do something to him, man? That gets us a goal. We need that. Tata, another solid performance since the formation change. Anthony's saying this. Made saves when he needed to and has not tried to play like Magic Mike. Exactly. Right? He is making more crosses to his teammates. He is trying to build more from the back, which we absolutely need because that's a huge quality that Mike brought on to be able to start those attacking plays, because before his biggest passes were out to Kier or Tomori. Now he's trying to use more of his teammates, but he doesn't need to be like Mike because he's not going to be like Mike. He is who he is. He's 37 years old. He's in the twilight of his career, and he just needs to plug in the hole that we have. That's it. Just do the basic minimum of your job. Thank you, bro. Kamal. Thank you, bro. Gotta go now. I appreciate Kamal for joining, as always. And everybody else, too. I appreciate you guys joining. Once again, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button. Like this video. Always helps the channel. So if you haven't already, please just take a second and do that. I'd appreciate it big time. Third for now. Yes, third for now. Tied on points with Inter. What Pioli did today with Bakayoko was sending a terrible message to guys like Pobega, Vronx, and Adli. It might be. You might be onto something there. Because this was Bakayoko's first match, though. Keep that in mind. Right? So Bakayoko hasn't played any minutes, really. And yeah, he comes on after Milan is trying to offload him. So they're almost like Pioli's kind of showing the hierarchy of the midfield to those guys. Now, has Pobega done enough to warrant any type of favors from Pioli? Not to me. I'd rather he plays Bakayoko and sees if he can be that prime Bakayoko from 2 years ago. I would much rather see Bakayoko gain some confidence than Pobega get a couple of good performances. I honestly mean it because I think Bakayoko has more quality. He did. He had more quality 2 seasons ago. We saw what he was capable of doing after having a terrible first 10 matches when he was playing under Gattuso. He was also bad at Napoli too, to be fair. So I don't think Vronx has done enough to be able to show Pioli that, hey, for Pioli to have any type of loyalty to Vronx, that, hey, you are ahead of this guy. I think right now Pioli sees Bakayoko, Vronx, Adli, and Pobega as 4 players. He sees them all 4 as the same. He sees the situation, he sees what he needs, and he's going to throw them in. I don't think he thinks that there's a hierarchy. So I kind of, honestly, I understand your comment. I kind of respect Pioli for that. I want him to be that way. I want him to be a little bit more pragmatic and not be attached to a certain hierarchical level of players and be like, no, Pobega is the one who's going to play. Vronx is the one. Just see the situation and see what you want to throw on. Because to me, neither of those 4 guys have really proved anything when they did get a chance. If anything, Bakayoko made it a pretty important block today. Just 1 block, but I'm just happy it was not a bad performance. Bad is the word. I'm not saying it was a great one either. Verona, Lecce, Udinese shouldn't be underestimated. I can see at least one of them taking points. Hey, I hope all 3 take points, my friend. All 3. Give 3 points to all 3 of them. Joel, Monza put up more of a fight than Spurs. They did, especially in the last 25 minutes for sure. Walter White agrees with Cedar's point about Bakayoko. I understand. We're gaining our confidence back in the defensive end on the pitch. Our attacking play will improve over time. Which is probably the most important thing for Milan. The ruckus and the madness of January wasn't our inability to score goals necessarily. The madness of January was how easily we were conceding. Probably Tomori also needed that injury because today he looked okay. Before the World Cup, man, Tomori was shaky at best. He was not reliable at all. It was getting papered over because we don't have any other quality center backs. So I think maybe even Tomori needed that break. Maybe Milan needed that January in order to be able to pick up and close off the rest of the season, because that January is what brought about the 3-man defensive line. And we do have a little bit more belief in this lineup, especially in the absence of Mike Maignan. So I would say, we're definitely gaining confidence in our defense. Anthony. Tonali needs Benacer badly. This is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what's going on with Tonali. Flop of the match for Anthony. Wow. Should be benched for 1 or 2 games. Who will we play? Bakayoko or Bronx or Hadley? Tonali need to push forward more. Yes, he needs to be more aggressive. He needs to, take control of the match. He's our number 8. Number 8s are supposed to do that. You dictate, you dominate, and you decide the outcome's going to be. Adli could play a Benacer type of role, but Pioli will not allow it. I was talking to some people who watched, I think he was at Bordeaux, right? I think he was at Bordeaux. I was talking to a couple people who watch Ligue 1 football, and they watch Bordeaux specifically. And they straight up said to me, they're like, we don't understand this Adli purchase you guys made. They're like, Adli wasn't even good at Bordeaux. And I was like, yeah, but sitting outside, we thought he was playing well. He's like, no. He's like, he wasn't a very good player. So it was odd that Milan wanted to sign him so desperately that they signed him and then sent him back on loan at Bordeaux. So maybe it was just bad recruitment from Milan to some degree. Or maybe you're right. Maybe it's Pioli who's the problem, who's not playing him. But from whatever we saw when we've seen Adli play, we haven't really been like, oh my God, this guy's incredible. Who is this guy? With Malik Chow, even in 5-minute substitute appearances, like against Verona when he made those 2 blocks, even in a 5-minute appearance, you're like, who's that guy? He's playing really well. When I saw him, I was like, when did we even make the signing? I had no idea Milan signed this player. So for me, I think with Adli, when we've seen him, we haven't really seen him do anything. So does he really warrant that type of confidence from Pioli? He's not owed that, right? He has to earn it. And to me, my eye test, he just didn't earn it the games that he did play. CDK is slowly gaining confidence each match. My friend Anthony, I don't know if he's gaining confidence at all, bro. That should have been a goal. I would not drop Diaz for CDK at the moment. Fair enough. I can see people thinking that for sure. CDK is just not getting it done. Brahim thinks he's Messi plus. Bro, this is actually a really good comment. Now that you said it, he actually does play like that. Right? He gets the ball, puts his head down, and just like starts to always dribble, just the way Messi does, except that Messi does it almost perfectly and Brahim Diaz does it almost imperfectly. So, you're right. He does think that. Origi's a very bad player. Hey, no love for Origi from me either. Alexis is good for a right wing back since he can't score. True. That's true. Playing it as an advanced 4-2-3-1, you have more of a presence in the box, but if he has Brahim, Leao, and Origi or Giroud in that formation playing in front of him like a triangle, he'll be a little bit less required to be inside the box. He'll be more whipping the crosses in. So yeah, you're probably right. Alexis does benefit from his new role. Priya Darcy Basu. Do you think Ibra could have started for the first 4? Whoa, no, my friend. 45 minutes, he might relapse and go straight back on the stretcher. No. He has not. He does not have anything in him that'll allow him to play for 45 minutes. As I said earlier in the stream, Ibrahimovic has 2 responsibilities. If Milan is up 3-0 and there's maybe 5 to 7 minutes left in the match, then you bring Ibrahimovic on. Or if Milan's 1-1 and you absolutely need a goal and you have about 5 to 7 minutes left in the match. I don't think Ibra right now can give Milan anything more than 5, at the most 10 minutes. And there's no need to rush him. That's why we're not playing him right now, right? Because the coach realizes, like, there's no need to rush the guy. Like, if we're getting the results, let him sit on the bench, recover some more. Bad performance. No, I wouldn't say bad performance. Got the 3 points. I'm happy with it. Sometimes you just got to scrape through these kinds of dirty wins, man. And we're getting the job done. We're getting our confidence back on. It's not a bad performance. Not for me. I disagree, my friend. Last season, we won 5 1-0 games in last. There we go. Perfect counter there from Oli on Nixon free. All right, anyways. 5 1-0 games in the last 11 matches. There you go. Yeah, this is another key point, right? 9 clean sheets. Broke my heart to see CDK miss. You can tell he really wanted that goal. Oh my God. CDK, he was obviously very upset. And just what he did after missing that shot, after he didn't manage to score that goal, just his response after, where he tried to drive the ball past the Monza defense and not pass to Ante Rebic and take it on himself. I could tell. I was like, this guy's pissed. He's like, I'm better than this. Like, I'm gonna prove it to you right now. And he wasn't able to. Adli and Bakayoko, I think we had an extensive conversation about these two guys, so I'll skip this one. CDK will come good. Even Zidane struggled in his first season with Juventus. Hey, if that's anything that he can be. Huntelaar scored like 5 goals in 30 appearances for us. Yeah, but his first 2 goals were pretty special against Catania. Pogba on Mbappe. Oh, he tried to put a curse on him. Yes, I do remember something like that. Next match is Atalanta. I'd rather Diaz start over CDK. I would too. I agree. I fully agree with you. I think Diaz is a better starter over CDK in a match against Atalanta for sure. Yeah, CDK has the physique to be able to defend a little bit better, right? Brahim Diaz doesn't offer a lot of that defensive presence. He's more of that, because of his stature and his style of play, he's more of that sneaky player who can steal the ball off of you. But CDK offers that defensive presence, being able to head the ball, clear the ball better, get the ball from a corner kick. And he did do that. Kalulu for 500,000 is a steal. Ridiculous steal. When did you start watching Milan? I started watching Milan 2007. So I think the first full match I saw Milan play was the Champions League final of 2007. Full match. And ever since then, you know how it's been. Goes up and down, really. Tata got lucky. The post save him twice. He did. And when your goalkeeper is playing well, you do tend to get lucky too. So I'm okay with that. He got very lucky, actually. Milan, if you really think about it, thinking about this comment, we did get kind of lucky picking up the 3 points today. They did have their chances. Now, we had our chances too. Leao also hit the goal post. CDK should have absolutely should have scored that goal. So we also could have won it, 2-3-0, maybe if we were more clinical with our finishing. But we also got lucky with them hitting that goal post, and it hits Tata's back while he's diving, and then it goes out for a corner instead of going in. Tomori was exhausted, definitely needed that break. I'll take it. He's also just come back from injury, so that was only fair. Wait, but did we take him off? Did Milan take Tomori off? Because I can't remember if we did. But anyways, I'm happy with how Tomori played today. I'm very happy with the fact that he just came back from injury and he still put in a decent performance. Just like Tonali looked exhausted today, he needs a rest. And his form too. Not just, his form has been pretty bad, in my opinion. Everybody seems to forget we played 21 matches in 80 days before the World Cup. It's an insane schedule. And yeah, this is the point that I was actually going to make to you guys too. A lot of people, they in the comments and when our form was down, were upset. There's a lot of time left in football this season, guys. There's a lot of time left. Let me break this to you. If I'm right, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. This football season is going to run till June. June. It's February right now. Nothing is decided right now. We need to take it one game at a time. So if we can scrape through some 1-0s and pick up the 3 points, it's all that matters. The middle part of your season, a lot of these wins are important because they do impact the last 5 to 7 matches and the outcomes there. Because these wins that you just scrape through can really help you and buy you some time then, depending on what your situation is like. But right now we're just looking for a top 4 spot for sure. Our starting center back with Tomori, Kalulu, Chao cost us less than 35 million combined. Yeah, this is what I was referring to for the match against the Spurs. I went on a podcast called Never a Foul. It's run by it's run by Mo. Really good conversation about the Milan match there, and just in general the dynamic of football in Super League. So if you guys haven't already, check it out. I'll probably put it in the community tab in the channel. So if I disappear or do anything, just always check the community tab, because sometimes you guys message me and say, hey, where are you? Where did you go? I always let you guys know there if I have like a wedding or if I'm traveling or something. So check out the community tab anytime. But Center back of Tomori. Yeah, so the point that I was making there was that Simon Kier costed us $2.5 million, Malik Chow $7 million, and who was the third one? Kalulu 450,000. That was 10 million euros is what three of our center backs cost. And Tata Rushanu, I don't think costed us anything. So our entire back line against the Spurs of 3 defenders and a goalkeeper was 10 million euros. That has to be complimented. You're in the Champions League knockout phase and you pick up a 1-0 win with a backline that is constructed with 10 million euros. Guys, that you can't possibly downplay that. Just give the credit to the legend himself. Oh man, I forgot I was going to bring my t-shirt on this stream, show you guys Paolo Maldini when I met him and he signed it and stuff. I mean, it's like kiddie stuff, but it's still a nice souvenir I have. Good night, Kush. Good night, my friend. He's in Nepal. Yes, definitely sleeping hours there for sure. I will be flying close to where you are in day after tomorrow. Pioli will favor Italian-speaking players, therefore Adli will not be chosen. I don't know about that, man. I don't know if Adli is really that out of sorts when it comes to his language. I think a lot of players on the Milan squad speak French as well. I don't know which languages Adli speaks, but yeah. With Adli, I see, yeah, this comment is pretty accurate. Auga 2.0. Auga was that he was scoring goals when Pioli sent him to the field. Adli has not done anything, but he needs minutes to see. I was kind of referring to this comment even for CDK for that matter. Or who else was I talking about with this comment? I brought up Jens Petter Auga in the middle of the stream, exactly in this reference, that it's just some players just fall out of favor with Pioli and they just get moved. And I think Adli's gone. I don't think Adli's going to be at Milan next season. And keep in mind, Adli was my surprise player for the season. So I got that pick horribly wrong. So I have no agenda against Adli. He was my pick, but I don't think he's going to be at Milan anymore. Do you think that we would have discovered Chow if not Tomori was injured? No. This is what I'm saying. This is a very important point. This is exactly what I was talking about with some people. Is like one of the reasons why we have Malik Chow. We saw his quality in the beginning of the season. He was brought on as a center back substitute at times, and he did make those important blocks, as I've mentioned a few times against Verona. And you could see there was something to this guy. But if Tomori wasn't injured, Pioli would never make that change of making a 3-man backline and bringing Chow in. I mean, Chow really brought his space on Milan's squad after the match against Torino 3 games ago, right? So against Torino, he came on, I think, as a substitute. Or no, against Inter, he came on as a substitute, marked Lukaku really well, and then he got his start against Torino, then a start against Spurs, then a start today, and now he's solidified his spot as our starting center back. When Chow got that yellow, I was scared that Gabbia might come on. Oh my God, don't say that, bro. Gabbia's gone too. Adli's gone. Gabbia's gone. There's no way Milan can keep those guys. What's the point? Just get some other quality players. Maybe they'll be better. I just hope Mania can be back by the end of the month, or else he can go. No, he won't be back in February. He'll be back in March. So I guess you want him to go then? Bro, how did Romagnoli downfall begin? Anyone remember? I don't think I have the time to get into this whole comment, but he was pretty good in the season where Milan finished second behind Inter. Especially in the first half of the season, he was very good. How do I remember? I started this channel at that point in time, and I used to always compliment him and call him the pillar of Milan's backline. And suddenly he just, I guess, got slow and other teams just became fast, I guess, just simply put it. Buy it at a discount or let Brahim go. Hard to say right now. I think Brahim might be leaving Milan, just the way that he's playing. If he can add that passing to his repertoire, which I don't know why he still hasn't, and Milan players need to talk to him, the coach needs to talk to him. If he can add that element of passing, he was a pretty lethal player, but he just doesn't want to pass. Bizarre how resistant he is to passing the ball. No, Pioli needs to trust the players. He knows Malik is part of the recent success in defense. True. I was at Nepal, but since World Cup, I'm at Qatar. Oh, nice. Can Milan become like Bayern Munich? Ooh, good question. Can they become like Bayern Munich? I mean, what is Bayern Munich if you really think about it? Again, without diving into this too much. So just so you guys know, since there's a bunch of you guys here, if you haven't already clicked the subscribe button, obviously like the stream. That always helps the channel. I am leaving to go overseas day after tomorrow. So I'll see how I'm going to put content together. I'm going to try my very, very best. I'm going to be gone for about a month and a half. Not going away from the channel. I'm still going to be putting out shorts and Milan Champions League games. I'm going to be going on some other channels in India. I'm going to be going to Indonesia as well. That's the plan, at least. So just keep that in mind. And if there's anything, I'll update you guys on the community tab. This is a very important part I want to get out to all the people that are watching right now. On the community tab, I'll post if I'm not making a live or not putting out a video, just so I stay a little bit accountable to you all, because I really do appreciate the support and you guys watching always. Now, coming back to this, can Milan become like Bayern Munich? Bayern Munich is a team that has been relevant and has been a dominant force in the game of football multiple decades, time over time. They were somewhat big in the 90s. I think they were big in the 80s, 2000s, 2010s. They won multiple Champions Leagues, 2020s. They have made themselves relevant throughout. One of their main reasons for being able to do that is obviously they're the dominant team in Germany. No one's bigger than them. So they have the financial capacity to be able to do it, but they're also very financially reasonable or responsible. They have had a sustainable way of spending over the years, and now they have generated that revenue to be able to spend big. But there were a lot of rejected players from other teams that were going to Bayern Munich and becoming big there. And that is a testament to their recruitment, which then made them a big club that now can buy expensive players. So can Milan become like Bayern Munich? I absolutely think if we stick with the method that we have right now, where we don't overspend, you have to smartly spend. You have to focus on recruiting, because look at what is happening with PSG. When I was on that podcast on Never a Foul, there was a fan of PSG, and he knows a lot about PSG. I forgot the guy's name, but he knows a lot about PSG. I'm going to put it in the community tab, that particular video. This guy was so critical of PSG's spending habits. He hates that Neymar's there. He hates that Messi's there. He doesn't hate that Mbappe's there because he thinks he's a French talent from the French league, a proper recruitment of a quality player from Monaco. But he hates the big purchases that PSG have made. Hates them. And he always talks about how they've ruined his club by making them ridiculously big spenders. It doesn't translate to good quality. It is not a sustainable way of spending, and it's not the right way of constructing a team. You can get a bunch of individual superstars. That doesn't always translate into Champions League titles like we've seen with PSG. So that guy is sitting on the other side of the fence compared to us and myself. We are on the Milan side where we don't have really any money to spend, and we want our club to spend. He's sitting on the side where his club can't stop spending on superstars. He hates that strategy. When I started talking and I started rambling in that video about how Milan has been playing and spending their money, all he said was, that's what I want. I want quality recruiters. I want quality players at cheaper prices. I hate that my team's owners are spending money this ridiculously. So I think it's like, grass is green on the other side kind of thing. But that guy was very critical of PSG's habits, and their results haven't translated. Manchester City, all the spending, results haven't translated. So there's no guarantee that if you spend, you get the success that you want. And I would rather be someone like Bayern Munich. Focuses on recruitment, focuses on sustainable spending, fixes a freaking stadium, guys. We got to move on from the San Siro. We got to move on. It's done. San Siro is done. We had our history. I went to watch a game there selfishly. You guys can. You guys should if you want to. But we got to move on. It's old. It's done. I almost put this in another one of my videos that when I was at the San Siro, there was 2 bathroom stalls for 50 people. For 50 people. There were 2 people serving food and drinks for almost 100 people. And I was because there were no tickets left, I was in the expensive section, right beneath where Maldini and those guys sit. In that section, there were 2 bathrooms. There was a lineup of 60 people outside the bathroom. It was insane as to how old the infrastructure there is. We got to move on from the San Siro. So yes, we can become like Bayern Munich, but we got to stay the path and make right investments, right recruitment. We can't just, keep signing, Origi, I guess, or whatever, the smaller players and just be like, oh, we're going to win the Serie A title. No, you have to make those 30 to 40 million, at least every mercato, Milan has to spend, at least around 30 million, close to 30 million every mercato. And I know you guys are laughing. You're like, that's nothing. And I know that's nothing. But at least that much we have to spend, because in the winter mercato, we spent nothing really. So especially in the winter mercato, it has to be about close anywhere between 20 to 30 to just like replenish the players and see what you need. And in the summer mercato, minimum 60 to 80. It's the only way to really do it. But Milan's not going to transform over a season. This is the one thing I can promise you, is AC Milan will not become the team you wanted to become from one mercato. They're going to spend little this summer, little maybe in the winter, then again little next summer, and over 3 years you'll see what this AC Milan side shapes up to be. Because if we do go back to this lineup, right, and we kind of look at the pieces that we have here, because this is an important point to look at. Pieces here, you look at Tata, obviously he's out. Mike Maignan is a future and present piece. Our entire backline of the three players, future and present piece. Look at the midfield, Tonali's and Theo Hernandez are future and present piece. We have and Rafael Leao, if he stays, we have at least 4 or 5 players that can be bona fide stars in the future of this team. So we already have certain pieces in play in this squad. All we need to do is just find the right winger. Maybe that's Zaniolo. Find the correct quality center forward, whoever that is. Find the correct quality central midfielder to back up Bennacer and Tonali, whoever that is, and you will transform into a team. And the more you perform the way that we're performing right now, for example, in the Champions League, get that prize money going. Get those sponsorships up. Get the media outlets running and make more money doing other things outside of just, ticket sales and TV rights. There's a lot of other ways to make money now in football, and obviously shirt sales. And one of the ways to do that is keep your superstars. If we can manage to keep Leao, that would help the team. Because it would. A lot of people recognize only Leao. The young people only recognize Leao. The young people don't recognize Davide Calabria. They won't. Theo was pretty bad today. I disagree, Jeremy. I don't think he was bad. I think he could have been better in certain moments. But I don't really think anyone was really that bad, per se. Maybe just to some degree Brahim Diaz, because a lot of the game was flowing through him and he just didn't do anything. And Origi was bad. At this point, I only care about points. I'm with you. 3 points, that's all that matters. Michael, a Real Madrid journalist was very impressed with the performance of Chao against Tottenham. I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about that. Those things always concern me. I hope there are no ulterior motives there. Jeremy, but he's too important for us, though. You're referring to Theo. Yes, he is. Pioli had the balls to change his tried and tested formation. For what I praise him for having the cojones to admit 4-2-3-1 wasn't working. Yeah, some would dispute that he learned his lesson too late, which is a fair criticism, but he got the job. Eventually, he learned his lesson. I wish we had more decent Primavera players. There was a time when Milan had the academy, and right now, I don't know if there's any. Emil Robak is the only one that I can remember, but there are some guys who just, their expertise is Milan's youth academy, not mine though. Real Madrid fans think Brahim is better than Asensio, so I'm going to start closing off the stream soon. I don't want to jump over all the way to 3 hours, and obviously I need to pack. I got a flight to catch day after tomorrow, a little layover in Dubai. We'll see how that goes. Land in India, and go to Indonesia also. So that'll be fun. I'll keep you guys in the loop. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, maybe I'll post some of my trip stuff and content creation stuff. I'm not really big on Instagram right now, but TikTok, yeah, check it out. TikTok is wild space. TikTok is just crazy. The algorithm just feeds you the best stuff, and it's good for a creator to be on TikTok for sure. Because the response I've gotten on TikTok in 2 months of being on it is the same response I got on YouTube in a year and a half. But of course, YouTube is, the lives and stuff are so much more fun. Krunic was actually pretty reliable. Sorry, I want to see this. Real Madrid fans think Brahim is better than Asensio. I think they will be surprised that he's not. They think that Brahim is better? No, I don't think Brahim is better than Asensio. I think they're both, at least right now. Krunic was actually pretty reliable today. Do you think that we need a backup for Bennacer with similar play style like him? Krunic was reliable. I am glad people do notice that, because we have the habit of just being critical of that guy. I think he was pretty good today. We absolutely need a playmaker for sure. I mean, we didn't replace Franck Kessie with anybody. We got Vronks, we got Pobega. I guess we kind of got Adley. Someone did mention that Adli could be a replacement for Benacer, a backup for Benacer, more of a creative midfielder. But we absolutely do. If none of these guys that Pioli has at his availability are working in his mind, then we need to get rid of them and get the right person to back up Benacer, because we absolutely do need that. And over time, over the past few seasons, Benacer, Mike Maignan, these players have shown a propensity to get injured. Benacer was injured last season for some time that I can remember. He was injured the season before that. Same thing with Mike Maignan last season and this season. So these players are also showing that they're not going to be the fittest throughout the entirety of the season. So you definitely need, backups for them. For example, a player like Giroud, he's always available. The freaking guy is like 38 or whatever, 37. Fitness is just ridiculous. Last match against the Spurs, I think he ran 10.33 kilometers, which is just like, it's wild as to how much this guy's body can do. But then there are players like Mike and Benacer whose bodies can't do that. So we absolutely need backups for those guys. My wish is to go to the San Siro. Oh, you should. Where do you live? You should go to the San Siro, man. It's a great time. It's just unbelievable, really, the atmosphere, especially if you win. I mean, I saw a win, so that was a good thing. I've been to the San Siro. That was back in 2014 when we still had Boateng. The stadium was old back then. I can't imagine what it's like now. We definitely need a new stadium. Can't say anything else. Absolutely right. We need more Serie A titles in order to gain more prestige. We only have won 3 in this century, and for a team like Milan, that's not good. I agree with you. When you look at those tables where they show, by year, Milan doesn't have a lot in the 2000s. I think we only, as you mentioned, we only have 3 this, I think 2002, 2011, and 2022. So those are pretty big gaps for Serie A titles for Milan, because we were a Champions League team. We were just more focused on that. But now you're right. We do need to play and win those titles, importantly. I won't repeat this entire comment, but you guys can just read it. It shows you that our starting squad costs us less than 120 million. Guys, that's a testament to the management. It just is. Look at the prices here. %100% accurate. This is making Champions League, making top 4 is always my goal. Serie A title was not my goal last year. It was bonus, and I freaking loved it. But Champions League is critical for Milan, and scraping through 1-0 wins sometimes gets you 3 points, gets you closer to it. I am thrilled with today's result. Baka can be a reliable defensive midfielder. He can. He just hasn't been. He's just tanked. Quality just tanked. So he is pretty good. And, big ups to Pioli for giving him a chance today, I guess. And he was, defensively, he was pretty good. For a striker, we should go for Rasmus Holland this summer. I'll have to look him up. I've never actually seen the guy play. All right, guys. We're almost 3 hours in here, so I'm going to take a leave now. Do you think Leao is lazy sometimes? Yes, my friend. I used to call him Lazy Leao for multiple seasons or for multiple games. Now I call him, everybody knows what I started calling him after that, after Lazy Leao, but he's looking slightly lazier than usual, but I don't think he looks like he used to look 2 years ago. It's just that he needs to get goals. He needs to score. But once again, guys, I appreciate you guys joining. I will be, as I mentioned already in the stream, flying out day after tomorrow, so I do need to get to packing now. No 4 takeaways today just because I got to pack. I appreciate you guys joining. As always, a lot of you guys always make sure to join. I really appreciate it more than you guys realize. If you haven't already or new to the channel, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. And once again, if you haven't already, hit the like button. It always helps spread the video out to more people, get more people on the channel. More people on the channel means more reinvestment into the channel from some revenue. I mean, I'm going to be opening up memberships for the channel as well. That's coming in the future when I make some more content exclusive for members. And then, I'll hopefully do this full time one day, because that would be awesome. I'm a little, don't tell this to the realtors out there, but I'm a little tired of selling real estate. I like it, but I would love to do this full time. So let's make that happen. More content for you guys. And a big win for Milan. 3 points. 3 points. That takes us closer to the Champions League top 4 spot. We got the win. Let's hope one of Inter, Roma, or Atalanta drop points. Next match is going to be big against Atalanta. It is going to be hard for me to go live. I'll try my best. But if you guys don't see me, Forza Milan. And as always, sometimes I forget. Let me see if there's any last minute comments that I should look at. Thank you for the stream. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you as well. Forza Milan. Yes. So here we go. Forza Milan. Let me get ready.